Really?
Yep.
All right. Let me see.
Sadly, they're no longer playing.
Oh, that's sad.
They broke up?
Yeah, they broke up years ago.
Oh, it says
I
you're
used to
live.
follow
I'm
'em
watching
all
the
over
feed.
place.
There you go.
Jim, hello.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
I see
hello.
the feed.
What's up, Al?
How you guys doing?
Popping
All
out
right,
my
Mitch.
chat.
Hey, Al. How you doing,
Mr.
buddy?
Hot Rod.
Hello.
Oh,
Big guy.
what? I was talking to Adrian on the phone. I hope he pops in. He was wanting the email address. Hey, Rod,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts? What can we add to this? Like lunches, dinners, or something like that? How can we better coordinate this?
Yeah, I sent one idea over to Mitch. You know, I think Mitch has got the right idea, which is, you know, between now and when he intends on posting it, which he said like 4 months before the event, you know, we need to look around and kind of go, okay, what is there around in the area that would be kind of cool to do, kind of thing. Two of the things that I came up with, and you guys have already mentioned some of them, right? The airboat, alligator, whatever stuff over there, you know, that would be kind of cool. I think a restaurant like Alligator Bites kind of thing.
Ooh.
That would be
yeah.
that something like that would be really cool to take everybody to. The suggestion that I made to Mitch, because I looked it up, apparently there's a river cruise that's there in Melbourne.
On the
Well, Rod-
Indian River, the dinner cruise, you mean?
Yeah, the dinner cruise thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, Rod, in Central Florida, there's 100,000 different things.
Oh,
to do.
I'm
You
sure.
know,
I've only
and
been down here 7 years, so.
We can't list them all on the site. It would be too much work for me to, you know, you sent me a nice contact form and I appreciated it, but it's over a year out. And at this point, for me to start trying to collect these things, I think would be very confusing and more time consuming than it needs to be. So what I want to do is, you know, about 4 or 5 months ahead of the actual event, I'm going to put a forum on the website. And in the forum, there's going to be different topics. And those topics will be suggested activities, suggested places to dine, and all of that other kind of stuff. And I think we'll have plenty of time from that point until the event to actually start collecting all these suggestions.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what happens is that contact form that you sent me, I guarantee you that email is going to get lost between now and a year.
Oh yeah, between now and then, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't want to have to keep track of. I don't
No,
really want to have to keep
and
track
nor
of all
should
that
you.
stuff.
And nor should you.
Yeah.
No, you just do it on the web. Do it on the website.
Yeah. So,
It'll
I
be
think even now it's way too soon. I mean, it will pay when most of the people who are planning to come have actually registered and are actually participating on the website. Then it's time for the forum because the people will see it. So far, we have seven registrants already.
Not bad
So
for a year out.
We almost got ourselves a fly-in. I mean, if only 7 people came, I'd be just tickled to death and go have a ball. So
How many of them are from outside Florida?
well, we got Carlos from New York. We have
Oh yeah, should have expected Carlos.
Michael, Timeless
Stop
Truths,
Paul.
Paul, Drone Bum.
Drone Bum,
is coming. Yeah, and without looking at the list, I knew there was you.
Man,
and
Jim's
and
got to
me.
bring his bloody Matrice over this time.
I did bring
no
it
doubt.
last time, but I wasn't flying it in amongst the chaos that was that wind and people flying FPV and all that.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I was talking to Mitch about yesterday, I noticed Dan was talking a lot that the DJI remote controllers were interfering with the FPV remote controllers. So I didn't want to screw anybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I presume
they-
the Matrice works on OcuSync.
Actually, it's enhanced light bridge. So it's not OcuSync. It's before they got to that Mavic 2 Pro OcuSync.
So as long as it's not 5.8, your Matrice wouldn't have an issue, because my Evo didn't have an issue for the same reason, because it only uses the 2.4.
Yeah, and we're talking about interfering with the goggles of an FPV flight, not the DJI FPV drone, which uses pretty much the same kind of radio link as the camera drone does. We're talking about the analog goggle feed, because
Right.
I have to be careful when I fly a race drone with DJI in it that I stand at least 15, 20 feet away from anybody else that's flying analog, because the goggles, the DJI goggles, actually transmit a signal that'll interfere with their analog goggles.
And that was probably the one thing about the event this year with where we were. There was no way you were going to get very many drones up at the same time without sort of causing issues with each other, sort of in that small area.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't actually know what's going on. Are you guys running another fly-in
For next year.
Florida?
For next year.
Okay.
It's a year
There's
out.
the link. There's the link to the webpage. I just posted it for the meetup. Webpage.
Oh, good. So I don't have to show it now.
SpaceCoastMeetup.com.
And even though I'm not an FPV guy, I came, as you saw, I came on Friday just to hang out with you guys. And, well, it was Art and I that were doing the camera drones on Friday with all the FPV guys. And it was fine.
And it wasn't just for camera. It wasn't just for FPV guys. We mentioned that park for everybody to come in. Had more camera drone guys there on Sunday too, so it was a nice mix. It was a nice mix. You just have to be a little careful.
I enjoyed hanging out with everybody. That's what I enjoyed the most of it.
See, Jim's going to get us the $200 pizza next year.
Oh my God! The funny thing was, I was standing there at the counter while I got the phone on speaker, so he's ordering this. And she goes, $180. I'm the one with the Visa card going, what the hell did he order?
That was the funniest thing in the world.
I think that was
really
the one
funny.
with the caviar topping.
I'll tell you what, they don't explain that too well, that there's, because she goes, each wing is $1. Okay. He only ordered 24. Well, no, he was ordering 24 sets of 8. Well, she didn't explain that.
Bless
they're
her
not the
heart.
sharpest knives in the drawer anyway.
Right.
People that work in these places, what are you going to do?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, to answer your question on, you asked the other night about Resolve. Yes, I had a similar kind of issue when I was trying to render, that it kept throwing an error and wouldn't render. And I kind of knew what it was because it was at the end of one of the titles that I had added in on the video that I was doing. And it didn't seem to matter what I did. I changed, 264 to 265. I went from MP4 to MOV. I tried different formats and all that kind of good junk, and it kind of kept bailing out at the same point. And it turned out to be, I'd have to pull Resolve up to remember what it was, but it was literally the type of title that I used, because I changed it, basically put the same thing in it, but I used a different type, and then it rendered
like a fusion title.
Yeah, and then it rendered fine, and it was just like, oh, you silly thing.
What happened to me was, this is 36 minutes long. I'm 3 hours into this thing. And all of a sudden, it just shut down completely. Blank screen.
Yeah, it has a nasty little habit of that. I really wish they would adopt, like Microsoft Office does, with sort of the whole auto save recovery something, so that if it bailed out, at least when you got back in, it'd go, hey, do you want to recover this? And get you right back to where you were. I'm not sure, given how long they've been in the industry, they don't do that.
There's a live save feature, but it would take your GPU up the whole time.
I get that GPU error when I use Neat Video on Final Cut Pro.
So the other interesting question, I guess, is, Jim, what video card are you using?
It's only a 1060, Nvidia 1060.
Okay, so it is Nvidia. But so are you using the game driver or the studio driver?
Studio. I went to use a game driver, and it said, we don't accept that. So
that's interesting, because mine, I have a 2080, and at the moment I'm using the gaming driver, but there have been times where I flipped it around just to see whether Resolve would.
Hey, can I interrupt for a quick second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Carlos.
Hello, guys. I just wanted to say to Al Diaz that how long have you been flying? Seriously.
On and off,
FPV.
probably on and off, probably about 2 years. I was flying
FPV?
analog at first. Yeah, I was flying analog at first for about 6
then
months.
that
and then I
explains
stopped.
it, because I thought you just started and you fly
No,
really
I
well.
stopped for. Oh, thanks for the compliment.
That's what I wanted to say. You do really good. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he does.
I started with the little Tinyhawk like everybody else did.
Man,
When it, like, first
you kicked
came out,
butt.
like,
I
3
watched
years.
those 2 or 3 FPV. I mean, not for nothing, no offense, but I'm not into the GPS. But I watched as much of your FPV, and damn, you're good.
I'm
You
not
are
as good as
good,
you and the other guys, Mitch. And
Oh, you're good.
I'm not interested in the flippy
No,
flops. I like
not me
flying
either.
cruising.
Good point. But question is, all those flights were in Acro? Is that fair to say?
Yes, they were in Acro.
Then that's really good. The control and the way. Telling you,
Thank you.
you're gonna be like my hero soon. I'm gonna be like Al.
Oh,
Instead of
Hey, I'm
Mike.
supposed to be your. I'm supposed to be your hero.
Holy shit!
I thought I was your hero, you turncoat.
Yeah.
Nah, have you guys seen Al Diaz's videos? He's good.
Oh yeah.
I was flying stab mode, and I'm kidding you not. Shit, I made this comment before. Ed, love my drones, made a comment. Track your progression through FPV. Stop flying in stab mode, fly in Acro. And if you crash, you crash. So I didn't record anything. I just kept on flying in Acro in the Tinyhawk, and finally I got it. But
It just clicks,
you know
right?
that,
All of a sudden.
yeah. But it got better when I started flying digital. Carlos, I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, there's a
Yeah.
shot.
It's a lot clearer and cleaner.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's a
Michael.
shot for camera drones that I think they need to add to the cameras. That would sort of be an FPV like visual, and that is, you know, how you could take the, you know, when you're doing video, they all have like digital zoom and all that kind of stuff. I think they need to add a special shot in there where they actually do a 360 with the camera, so it looks like the drone is doing a flip, even though it's a camera drone, and it would just literally just be the camera kind of doing the flip, not the drone doing the flip. And I was
That's like
like,
fake
you know, it'd be
boobs.
kind
I'm
yeah, but you know, it'd be a kind of cool little thing that they could add in there, right? Because it's just a camera trick. It's not really a drone thing.
You know, one
But it
thing
would
I
give you
always
that
say
effect.
Learn how to
always-
fly. That's the
Right.
answer.
at the end of the day. But one thing I always thought they should have with the DJI drones when I flew GPS is, you know how on your phone you can press record and then you press pause and then you can continue on the same video by pressing play again.
Sure.
That's what they should have on the app, because you have to constantly add, you know, start a new video. I don't know. I always thought that would be more convenient
I always just start it and let it run.
and just keep it going.
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
I
I'm
found
the same way.
I found sometimes the best shot you get is by accident when you're actually
Unexpected.
setting up a shot or on the way from one shot to another shot.
Yep. What's up, Michael Blade? Michael Blade's going next year. If
Michael,
everybody's
he didn't
still,
register yet. I'm still waiting.
he didn't
There's,
register. I
I
gave him
haven't
the
seen it
website.
yet. Didn't come in yet, but
There's a couple of questions.
getting close.
Here.
Go
I
for the
updated to the 17.1.1 yesterday on DaVinci, and yes, there is a feature that says live save. I don't use it because I only have a 1060 GPU card. You can't get hold of a 3080 right now.
Nah, you can't get a hold of anything new. GPU, CPU, memory, take your pick. I know I posted a couple articles in the Drone Nation Facebook page on Ron's thing of just how bad this problem is, and it's not just bad. It's, as long as I've been in the IT industry, I've never seen anything close to this, and I don't know whether you guys know it or not. I guess it depends on how much you hang out on the.
You mean the
Sort of-
Bitcoin guys buying all these up?
Yeah, not even that. So,
And
being in the
China's
computer industry, I
threatening
read too many of
Taiwan.
those sites. So, no, there's a problem that's even worse than that. That's going to affect like everything. So there is a shortage of the display driver chips, and those chips are apparently about $1. And the company that owns the design has TSMC build them, and they're the guys that have no capacity. So literally right now there are not enough display driver chips, and those display driver chips are in everything: monitors, TVs, anything that has a screen. Literally everything that has a display on it has one of those little chips, and you can't get those chips right now. So it's not going to be just big things. It's going to be like everything is soon going to be really hard to get hold of.
Yeah, and
they're talking about a silicone
shortage. To see the guys that are like these big stores are getting up 10, 20, 30 sets of 3080s, and they're just using them for Bitcoin, for mining the Bitcoin. I've seen article after article of these, so guys like you and I can't even buy these things. If you look at if you look at YouTube, there are live channels showing tickers of Best Buy, which all the retailers trying to find a card.
And Newegg has that pool that you can they call it the Newegg Shuffle or something like that. Anyways, you basically sign up and they throw you in this pool, and then when they get availability, it's like winning the lottery. They pull you out of that pool to do it. But when the Nvidia 3000 series launched, all those I don't get it. I don't know how the retail guys didn't know that this junk was not going to happen with them spamming the bots at the sites, and it makes you kind of scratch your head.
So I went and put this one on 1080p HD and then half resolution to even be able to edit it, because it was, I guess, 36 minutes. All I'm using here are simple cuts and titles. And as you see, the titles are not fusion heavy.
I did something similar. My 2080 card runs great with editing the Evo. In fact, if you go to my channel, I finally posted the flight I did of the sunrise from that morning. I'll just warn you, it's long. I literally didn't edit it. Because that's a recording, right? It chops it at every 4 gigs. I literally just shoved them all together, threw a couple of titles in, and threw it up. Because I was kind of thinking, there were only 2 people flying that morning. It was me and Dennis. Nobody else. Yeah, we got there early. Nobody else had anything in the air. So I kind of figured, instead of me sort of picking and choosing what I wanted to cut out of the video, I just put it all out there, and you can watch what you want to watch. You can, skip ahead. That's usually what I do if I run into something long. I kind of skip ahead through the video and just kind of quickly get through it. And that's what I want to do. So anyways, I didn't
Explain
do
this
much
fusion
editing.
thing that you were just talking about. Something about fusion?
It takes a lot more GPU than just putting in a regular title like Cyberlink.
All right, so what is a fusion title? Something that moves, or?
Yeah, it's an animated title. Essentially.
Okay.
Fusion is the name of the software, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you're using to edit.
So it's built into DaVinci. DaVinci, as they built their tool out, Resolve itself was originally built for Hollywood to do coloring. And then as they wanted to sort of add other features in the whole editing and other things, they purchased some other companies and essentially just kind of lumped it in with Resolve, because there's another one in there called Fairlight, which is the audio editing piece of Resolve.
Yeah.
Jim, did you figure out the match shot where you color grade one and try to match the shots that are kind of equal?
Which one do you mean?
That works
you were
great.
Talking about that on Resolve.
That works. Yeah, that works great. I love that feature. So if you're in the color tab, Jim, just pull up, I don't know, add 2 pieces of media and throw them into something. And then what it allows you to do then is essentially it's sort of a cheat way to do a LUT. You're kind of copying the color profile of one thing over to another. And it can be a video to a video or a picture to the video.
Oh, you're talking about like keeping this still and then using the still as a...
Yes.
After I make my node tree. But see, I haven't done any coloring on this yet. This is all GoPro video.
Yeah, so if you...
I didn't even get to the coloring yet, and it's GPU erroring me out.
Yeah, so just as an example, if you go add some picture, I don't know, pick any picture you have in your media and just throw it into... I don't know if you want to throw it into that project since you've been working on it, but if you throw it in there and then go to the color page...
But this is a fusion title. Do you see the way it's doing that?
You're not sure.
We're not seeing your screen.
Oh. Why is that?
Because you didn't share it. What's up, Ron? Nice to see you.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Ron, you still down in California?
Lanyard around your neck.
Yep, heading in a little bit.
That's a lanyard, right? Oh, that's your ID?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
At some point, we need to do a meetup out by Ron's. Because he's right. He lives in some of the most beautiful parts of the country out there.
That's true. I've only been there once. That was for Bike Week.
I wasn't terribly far away for like 10 years. I was in Fargo.
Yeah. Hate that town.
Yeah.
It was a great movie, though.
You know,
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Oh, it was a great movie.
That was a bizarre movie.
Fargo?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that was like a
Steve
comedy.
Steve Buscemi and it was a dark comedy is what they. It was great.
And it wasn't filmed in Fargo. It was filmed in Minnesota and South Dakota.
It was filmed somewhere up there where it was cold and snowy, though.
Yeah, it was in the neighborhood. It just wasn't filmed in Fargo.
The part I liked the most was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they talk up here.
It was like a little bit faster paced than Napoleon Dynamite. It was just weird. It's just strange.
So
I did not understand that movie at all, Napoleon.
Oh, it wasn't understandable. The best Napoleon Dynamite, you mean?
Yeah.
No, the best part was the dance at the end. I kept waiting to see if something else would happen, but nothing.
So, Carlos, you want to guess what the most popular tree is in North Dakota?
Spruce.
Telephone pole. That's not far from the truth, is it, Ron?
It's not.
There's like nothing there.
It's different down south in South Dakota where I live.
Yeah, there's literally the wind blows all the time. I mean, just all the time up there. Calm day is 15 mile an hour. That's a calm day.
They have the IPP going on there in North Dakota still, called the Beyond program now. But
it figures you would know that one.
Although this
Beyond, right?
You know, the FAA is only getting their information from corporations and colleges, and that this is how we get the rules pushed upon us because, you know, other guys are making them. You know, Emery Riddle. Everybody knows Emery Riddle Aeronautics College, right? Here in Daytona.
Oh, yeah. Right here, yeah.
Oh, they're pushing college degree programs to fly friggin' drones now.
No doubt.
Hey, I wish they had that when I was young. I would have done it.
Isn't North
You
Dakota
already
State
doing
it?
it.
You wish they had drones when you were young. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, they didn't have drones. No. But now, you know, with the new rules that are going into effect on the 21st, and now that I passed this new written thing that they have, I can fly drones at night without a waiver now. So that's something I can do now that I couldn't do before.
So what if you have a waiver, Mitch? What if I have a
Well, the waiver that you have expires on the 21st.
Holy shit! Seriously? Wow.
Yeah,
I just got that one for 4 years.
Yeah, according to Ken Herron, he was pissed. He was on a show the other night telling everybody how pissed he was because he went ahead and got this waiver. It was good for 3 more years, and now it's no good. But all you do is go. You just need to go onto the FAA site. That the link is out there all around. It took me two and a half hours to do the course and take the test. And
Dre did it too.
You print a certificate, and then you're good for all the new regulations. The flights over people, the flights at night. the remote
I
ID
thought I'd be grandfathered in.
No, they said
no.
in the NPRM that this was going to do away with any waivers and certificates of authorization that were impeded, like the night flying and the I'm not, like we were talking about that the other day, the beyond visual line of sight. I'm still not flying over cars and people with, no matter what it is. My stuff's too heavy. If that falls down, I can't afford the hit.
You won't be able to do it, Jim, until the manufacturer of the drone gets a particular category certification, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. But a tiny whoop, something under 250 grams with a prop guard on it, is pretty much open season.
I've been hit with them, right, Carlos?
Yeah, you can. Yep. You can fly them over people. I think.
I almost hit Ron a few times.
Right now.
Flip me the bird after a flyby. Remember that, Ron?
Well, I did. I think you have it on film.
I do.
Carlos was like that one at this fly-in last year. Was like the one mosquito that just won't go away.
Right.
Hey,
yeah.
It was so much fun.
It was.
That mosquito.
Got a question for you guys. I know most of you are monetized, but what's up with YouTube? Just automatically, I know it was coming.
Oh, the ads.
The ads, because so many people have been asking me if I'm monetized. I'm like, no. And my thought process is, and I look at myself, when I go searching for videos and look at things, if there's too damn many ads, or if there's an ad period, sometimes I'm like, screw it.
Yep.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
So that in turn hurts your channel, because people are not viewing it. They're like, oh shit, he's got a bunch of ads on his thing, and
they said they were going to do it, and they did it.
They did it.
Did they do it? Did they start?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Jim,
then in that case,
Jim,
I'm going to
your
go.
live stream, Jim, it's got ads.
I went to your channel and it had an ad. I went to Brian B. Mac's short video. He put out a short today where you told him to get rid of the 360 emblem.
Yeah.
Even on a short, it had an ad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Well, you know what I'm going to do then is I had taken the ads off all my videos. I went ahead and unmonetized them so people wouldn't have to see the ads. But if YouTube's going to be showing ads, I'm going to remonetize them, because if they're using my videos to show ads, that even if it's 2 cents, I want to get paid. Sorry.
No, they are. They're forcing it on us.
I won't put mid-roll ads in them, though. You can turn that off. That's the one thing you can do when you monetize.
In the middle?
Is you can
I see
turn
that.
off the mid-roll stuff. You can't stop the one in the beginning, but you can turn off the banners. You can turn off the cards. You can turn off the mid-rolls. And I don't know do all that.
Like what time period? How long does your video have to be for them to put a mid-roll ad in there?
Who knows?
Don't you just ask for it? Is that something you can request or no?
If you're monetized, you can
turn it off.
You can say whether you want ads that you can skip through, or ads that you can't skip through. And I think you can ask if they're on the beginning, middle, or end.
Right, and you can turn off mid-roll. You can say absolutely no ads during the video. Yeah, you can.
I've watched videos that had like an ad every 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, they're doing that to make money. I mean, these guys, with some of these nutritional channels, the keto diet guys, these doctors that come on, they have 3 million, 4 million views on these videos, and you get mid-roll ads. If they're getting 3-4 cents a whack, they're making serious money on these. They're making serious money on these things.
Oh, before I forget, totally off the wall subject, Al, I need to contact you. Our route of travel coming back down the West Coast, it looks like I might be coming into California and going up through Donner Pass and up over Tahoe. So,
okay.
So we got to meet up, buddy.
Definitely. I wouldn't do no solo out to Oregon. I'm too much of a push, Ron.
That's like so famous.
Yeah.
At Donner Pass.
Yeah, I can't wait to get up to that Olympic National Park, though. There's 3 versions of it. There is the high mountains, up in the mountains, elevation snow. There is a tropical rainforest, and then there's the beach and the water, and the rock cliffs, kind of like you have down in California. So yeah, it's kind of divided in 3 parts.
That's up in Washington State, right?
Yeah. Yep. Just slightly south of British Columbia.
This is all at Donner Pass?
No, Olympic National Park in Northwest Washington.
Port Angeles? Isn't that Port Angeles?
It's like northwest of Seattle.
Beautiful area. I've been up there one time. Stayed there for a few weeks. Nice.
A Viper headset. Ed, do you have a Viper headset in your thing?
In your avatar?
So Ron, was Brian trying to tell you that he knew about that and he just wanted to leave it there to annoy us?
I don't know. I don't know whether for the longest time there was on that app. You have to go into the settings, and there's a couple things that are automatically turned on, and you have to turn off, and that's one of them.
He's talking about the 360 app, guys.
Right, and it will leave a logo on there, and I don't think you see it until you render the video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like a watermark thing.
Yeah.
Yucky.
And the thing is with them, what's messing Brian up so bad is that you have to use their studio version to edit your software. Then when that's done, you bring it into your nonlinear editor.
Right. I have found the best way to do it. You can do it on your phone, a mobile device such as an iPad, or there is a desktop version, and I use it on my Mac. But I found that you have more versatility on the mobile version, either phone or iPad. But obviously it's easier to work on your iPad as opposed to a little phone. So, but you just download them right onto your iPad and then work it from there.
Are you happy with that thing, Ron?
So far, yeah. I tell you what, I've seen a huge improvement in the stitching. Where a couple of other 360 cameras, I've been able to see that stitching. With this one here, I'm having a real hard time finding it.
Well, that's good. That's
good. And the clarity's good. The only thing I don't like, I'm a little disappointed in, is any fast movement. The clarity's not quite there. But again, look at the size of the camera and the lens, and
Hey Ron, when you bought that lens, did you buy like a motorcycle kit? Did it
or
did you have to buy that separate?
I bought. I've got three different setups now I can put on my bike. So I'm actually, when I go on this trip, I'll have the Osmo Action and that 360 camera in one of two other spots. So yeah, there'll be a lot of footage from the bike. I can't wait.
I like that back luggage rack spot you used. I really did like that.
Yeah,
that footage from that X2 camera blows doors on the 1R.
Yeah.
Really, that much of a difference?
Oh yeah.
I can tell. The 1R footage is like pixelated. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Especially when it's moving fast.
Better than the 1R. It's the same price, isn't it?
I think fairly close.
$4.99 or something like that.
Yeah. The only thing is,
this was four and a quarter.
Four and a quarter.
Yeah. The X2 is 4 1/4.
You know something? The GoPro 8, that was $350, and then you had to get, in order to use the USB port to charge it and all this other crap, you had to buy the $80 media mod. So, I don't like that trickery and all that. I would rather buy like the 1R2 or whatever you just got, and not have to put these damn add-ons on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ron.
Didn't GoPro take ProTune away? I know they took it away.
They did.
From GoPro
They
6.
did. They took it out of the app.
Now it's like a
took it out of
lab
the
or
app.
something like that.
Well, one of the things I noticed in the Insta 360 app, when you go to edit, there is a selection to add what they call Color Plus, which I think is that ProTune on GoPros. And it does add nice color, but I do notice it adds some grain to it. So you have to use one of those add-ins or on Final Cut to get rid of that grain.
The GoPro doesn't like deep blacks. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
Because
The only thing that sucks about those cameras is the Insta cameras is the goddamn proprietary software.
Yeah.
You gotta put it in there in order to get MP4 footage.
I'm still experimenting now with Final Cut, but I think Final Cut does have a 360 what's the word, a plugin for it, and I haven't had the opportunity to play with it yet, but I am going to try it.
Now, what's that plugin?
It's a 360 video plugin for Final Cut Pro.
Oh.
Yeah, that was part of their update.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
DaVinci has that too. I've never used it, so I don't know if it's any good. I can't recommend it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Jim, speaking of DaVinci, did you get to that color copy thing?
When I make my when I go through and color edit and I make my stills, I can take all those colors and put them on any other clip that I want to. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. The copy from clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. So for my Evo, when I'm shooting in log, or if I know I'm going to shoot in log, then what I tend to do is I will take a color picture photo, just a photo, so that I have whatever the colors are, and then start and flip over to video mode, and then obviously put it into the log and shoot the video with the log. Then in DaVinci, then I just take I drop both pieces of media in, then I copy that color from the photo to the video log file to do basically it's a cheat way to do the coloring.
I see you, Matt. Oh Jesus! Now he threw me off. Now I gotta let him on.
Oh, Northeast.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about Autel and GoPro, well, you've got GoPro color or flat, and the Autel seems the same way. They kind of oversaturate.
Autel's A-log is very flat. Very, very flat. I don't know, Hot Rod.
Yeah, it is. And flat. I've done one log since its last update, and I wasn't happy with.
Hey, it's Matt.
Hey, Matt. I saw you doing that there. I was laughing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm trying to talk.
Were you mooning?
Oh, jeez.
Only moon Adrian, mate. Yeah.
What's up, Matt?
Yeah. Oh, bugger all, mate. Bugger all. Got that controller coming, the TX16S. So
you want the big boy? Wow.
Oh, look, I have to, mate, because that controller just doesn't cut it with the freestyle. You know, it's all right. Just have a muck around, but you can't really fly it properly.
Did you get the freestyle going? The two?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. And
how you like it?
Fantastic.
Did you book a date with Mitch so he can show you how to bind it?
Oh, he did it already, didn't he?
Oh, that's already done.
Nice.
Matt, you'll like that Radio Master. You really will. But when you're flying it with a SPI receiver like the Tinyhawks have, you got it's in D8 free sky mode, and you need to tune the frequency in the radio. There's a way to tune it, and it gives you a way to fine tune the frequency. And if you don't do that, you might not have the range you expect. So remember that when you get it, you get ready to get it set up.
All right. Yeah.
Did you have flown it successfully?
Hey.
That's flown the Tinyhawk freestyle successfully? Getting good flights out of it?
There's two of you. What? Who said?
Are you getting good flights out of your freestyle? This is the flight where I was harassing Ron Locker.
Is this where I flipped you off?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Flippy by Ron.
What are you flying there, mate?
The Tinyhawk 2.
Ed had a duck.
Little breezy.
I told you, like a persistent mosquito.
Just trying to buzz his head. One time he almost walked into it. That wasn't my fault.
Carlos likes the small drones.
I noticed Ed took a duck too.
Oh, quite a few people ducked. There he is. There's the head. Now this way, the wind just takes you.
You won't be able to miss his
There's
melon.
me sitting in the chair.
Right over his head. I think this is the one where I'm getting the bird. Yeah, you're getting ready to take the Insta app.
Oh yeah. Here it goes. Yep. No, that's not the one.
I think so.
Yeah,
I hit you here. Boom.
I thought I was under the canopy when I flipped you off.
You were. I don't know if it's at the end of this or then it's coming up close.
Jim's droning.
know,
How
if
are you?
Carlos-
towards the
if
end,
Carlos
you
didn't
almost
hit you-
walked into it.
If Carlos
sorry,
didn't hit you with a drone here in Florida, then you weren't there.
Yeah, really.
You hospitalized all those people with that massive
Watch,
thing.
he's going to walk into it. Oh, right there. You almost turned and walked into it.
Whereas Carlos calls it calculated risk.
That's it. Perfect. Calculated risk. Oh, watch this. Watch Brad's mug. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Trash can. You got my cell phone. It was something.
Man, was that close with Brad. That was closer than I would have wanted. I think I teabagged Mike there by accident. But this is why the Tinyhawk is so much fun. You can just do this kind of stuff and not worry about hurt. Oh, here it comes.
Yep.
We can't chalk this up to bad flying, Carlos. You're doing this on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A calculated risk, like Mr. Hot Rod just said. I think it's coming. Watch the...
Here comes the finger.
Yeah, it was towards the end of this video. I remember you showing it before.
Under
What's the go,
sleep-
Carlos?
Here it comes. Birdie.
Way to go, Ron.
Yeah.
I don't recognise any of those flights without them pinging off the poles. What's happening there?
There I crashed.
That was pinged off the head.
I think you got a record there, Carlos, hitting the most people in any one flight.
I tried. No, not really. It was fun. It was fun.
Hey, can I ask a question? Does anyone know the Mavic Air 2S is coming out with a 1-inch sensor? Have you got an aperture on that camera as well, or not?
No.
Nobody can confirm that.
No,
It's
from
fixed
what I've heard-
2.8. It's fixed 2.8.
Yeah,
Is
fixed
it?
aperture. Yeah,
Yeah,
fixed
it's
aperture.
fixed.
I heard that as well.
Why would you buy that? Why would you buy that if the 2 Pro still got an aperture, and you're paying a lot of money for that Air 2S?
Yeah, and you
Where
could
did
buy
I
a 2
see-
Pro for less on a used market for a lot less, probably.
That's
Somebody put up, I don't know what truth there is, 5.7K.
5K.
It's 60.
5.4K, 5.4K. I think
Yeah, it's
it's
5
At
point
60?
something.
I don't know.
30, 5K at 30,
At
and
30.
4K at 60.
Guess we'll find out Thursday, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, we just got over that DJI FPV drone and all that crap, and now we got to go through all that again with
Something
another
new.
new drone.
So
How much money does DJI think all these guys are going to keep forking out every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Credit cards, the American way.
Man.
It's
Apparently
the
they're
thing,
in the stores already. Best Buy, a couple of people, that one guy that's never flown a drone in his life did
I saw
a
that.
review. He just pulled
Couldn't
parts
turn it
out. He
on,
had no-
remember?
Yeah. And
Couldn't turn
obviously
it on. He's reviewing his drone. He couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
He had no clue what he was
Pretty
doing.
sad.
No.
No.
So
And he got
must be
12
hard to
gazillion.
see.
12 gazillion views on his video too. It
Yeah,
ain't
Ron,
right.
I was gonna say Autel has a deal going right now on the 6K, where it's the it's what they call their on-the-go bundle. So it's basically a bag and extra batteries and all that. It's only $15.99. So
Yeah,
you
they
know, for
really
like
should-
$300 more than that 2S, you could get something equivalent of the Mavic 2 Pro that is obviously 2+ years newer.
Yeah.
I would
Parts-wise,
generally, I
I mean.
would go for the Autel, mate. That's for sure. That look, I didn't even know the camera controls on the Autel either. Is there aperture on that?
Yes,
Right, there you go.
2.8 to f11.
11, exactly the same as the Pro 2. I would go for that over the Air. If the Air 2S hasn't got the aperture, I wouldn't bother with it. You know, that's the whole reason you get a nice 1-inch or something like that, where you can have full control over
I
that
agree.
camera. Failing that, I wouldn't be spending the money on it. No way.
And the other piece, between that 2S versus like the Evo 2 is, I can tell you, I can fly my Evo 2 easily in 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
because that thing's a beast and heavy, and the advantage of that is, as a camera platform for doing videography, because it is a beast, you will get rock solid, stable video.
Yeah. I'm kind of guessing that that would have been the case with it. I've never flown it. Al's got. I don't know if he still got it or not because he was going to sell it, but that's what Al was saying. But it's a totally different flying experience to what a DJI drone is. When it comes to the app and actually handling, well, I haven't got one. This is
I don't have the 2 Pro. I've got I've got an Air 2 and I've got a Mavic Mini. The Autel app gives you the ability to set the EXP settings. So you have the ability to adjust the sticks and make them as soft and literally pick whatever settings you want to pick, kind of thing with it.
Well, you can do that with the Mavic 2s.
You can do that with Mavic 2s. Yeah.
Mavic 2s, you can go in and change the expo and the rates and all that stuff.
So I kind of have a little bit of similar feeling in the sticks and the controls and the speed and the yaws and all that, kind of between both the Autel and my DJIs as far as they are. So I can literally kind of pick up either controller, and they're close enough in how all of that functions that I don't feel uncomfortable swapping from one to the other. It's kind of one of those, pick either one of them up and I can basically fly them almost identical to each other.
Well, you're a god pilot, because the fucking Evo 2 sucks. The flight characteristics on it suck.
They don't like it at all, do you?
The app interface sucks.
There was a bunch of guys there with them. Doc Murdoch had it. Rod had
I put it up for sale, and I was getting lowball, and I took it.
Adrian had one too.
Yeah,
even Adrian had one.
Yeah, he's got the AK. But you're right there too, Hot Rod. What mate? I don't think I've met you before. What's your name?
Rod.
It's Rod.
Rod, how are you, mate? Nice to meet you.
Yes,
I have mucked around with the Evo's log footage, and you did mention earlier that it's very flat, and it is. It's extremely. Look, mate, I can pop log footage up from the 2 Pro and just about know exactly what to do with it to make it look all right. The footage coming out of that Evo, I was all over the joint. I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was like a black and white movie, and you really had to play with shit to pull out the colors and really sort of bring its neck.
I don't disagree with you, because I've only been doing my first drone was the Air 2 last year when it came out. This is long I've been playing around with it. But I was telling these guys earlier, I'm glad I have DaVinci, because there's a little feature in DaVinci that I use with my Evo with the log footage. And DaVinci, basically, you could drop multiple things in there, and you can say copy from the other clip, and it's like creating a LUT off of the one to copy over top of the other. So what I do is, if I'm going to do the Evo log, is I'll actually take a photo of the environment before I'm going to do the video, and obviously I'll play with the settings and all that, kind of get it to what worked for me, right? Because color's obviously a personal choice. So that then go ahead and shoot and log, and then afterwards I'll just copy that color from the photo onto the video, and it winds up looking pretty bloody good doing it that way.
Hey guys, I'm going to cut in real quick. Matt, quick question. Do you work, I guess it would be your Saturday or Friday night, or you don't know yet?
I don't know yet, but I'm kind of guessing I will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to come on with you Friday night. Don't know if I can, if I will have cell service, but if I do, I'll be at the base of the north side of Yellowstone. and kind of show you guys that it's beautiful there. But if not, I will catch you all in a couple weeks. I'm going off the grid for a few weeks. Heading to Wyoming.
Will number 7 be there?
Oh, shit, no. I have a little blonde from Sioux Falls with me. I better not bring number 7. No,
I can only take 6 with me.
We're going to Yellowstone for 3 or 4 days, and then when we get back, I got to head over and start guiding turkey hunters. So I won't be around much, but I was going to try and pop in, Matt, Friday night, hopefully.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Okay, no worries, mate. A nice microphone, by the way, too. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
That's all right.
So if you're going off the grid, Ron, are you taking a horse or a mule?
No, no, I'm taking the truck. But pretty much everywhere I'm at doesn't have much of any cell service. So, anyhow, good seeing you guys. Catch up to you whenever.
No worries, mate. Take care of yourself, eh?
All right, man. Heading to work. See you later. Thanks, Jim. Jim, I got your message. Chat at you later.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe I'll try to call you on my way home tomorrow.
Okay.
When I get back into cell service.
All right.
All right. See you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Yeah, mate. Take care.
Well, Matt, you have no interest in this Air 2S?
No, not if I haven't got aperture. I've got no interest in it whatsoever.
Well, that's what you need, ND filter, right? And when you're flying a drone, how much can you really mix with the focus and really capture what you want to see? You know what I mean? Like the depth of field, depending on how close you are, you're usually far from your subject, right? So I think with ND filters, 2.8 is pretty sharp, right? I mean, it's fixed, but newer tech,
no,
4K 60.
Not interested. No, it's 4K 60.
10-bit footage. They got 10-bit footage too.
Have they?
Yeah, it does have 10-bit.
Okay. 10-bit D-Log?
You guys don't have enough drones with what you have
10-bit D-Log.
Create.
No.
And the issue with the NDs, though, is you may have to bring it back down and flip which ND you have on there. Where if you have, aperture, I don't have to land a thing to change the filter to get it to what I want it to look like.
That can be the case. But if you start blowing your aperture, you start sort of messing with your footage a bit. But you're exactly right. You might be able to knock your aperture a little bit here and there just to get that exposure right.
Hey, I want to show something right quick. This is when the drone went in the water. The FPV drone. Dan had caught it going into the water, so they were like, show us the video and all that. But after this...
He must have been loving that.
Oh, the best one was Dan's video and this guy, what's his name? Ken? Is his name Ken Dono?
Okay, yeah.
He goes, I hope you got that on video.
Billy Kyle says, put a battery in it. I got a battery. It just came out of the water.
The funny thing is this guy who lost his drone never made a video.
Maverick.
His drone.
Mr. Maverick.
Right
there.
Over here.
They made a pretty big slap too.
Pelican fishing.
Yeah, Dan is gonna, and his group, they were gonna fix him up with a real FPV drone.
Damn.
Yeah, I heard that.
He went in after it.
Dive. It's crazy.
I can't believe he got it.
Oh, you had about 30 guides. A little to the left, a little to the right.
Yeah.
A little further out.
It sounded like an orgy I was at once.
I guess he needed.
Matt, you needed direction on that orgy. Never mind.
What's that drone? What's that drone that does swim? He needed that. He needed that drone.
The splash
drone.
You know what I'm like, Carlos?
You were playing that. What was the name? Twister. Remember the game with the circles and the colors?
I was flying FPV, man. I couldn't see where I was going.
I have a video to share, Jim.
Okay.
More of the nonsense bothering you guys. Now remember, this is only a 65 millimeter with like 5-8 mile an hour wind.
I got Stevie. I think you're on here, Stevie. Capture Live Connection. Yeah. I got a piece of footage of yours and Sean Oz. I got to send you email to get permission to use. It's of the poster. I want to put it in our video. So I'll be sending you an email.
Ooh,
Hey,
right in
Chris,
front of your mug there, Jim. I think I hit you in the back. I know I hit
Yeah, you hit me in the
Metro
back of the
drones.
head, and then you went between my legs. That was funny as hell because we were talking about Matt's video of him hitting everything in that walk.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the requirements for next year is we need a scoreboard so we can keep track of
How many
There
hits?
you go.
how many hits.
The Red Baron. I'll put little stickers on the drone.
Was that Paulie sitting down there?
Yeah. No. Paulie wasn't there. That's
Metro Drones, DW,
Brad Alston.
Drone Worship. Was Brad there? Is
yeah.
there now?
Brad Alston was there. Ed was there. Mike was there.
Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
And this
So
is
when
all
you
with
guys
a
do
little
this meetup on the
5mm.
second, is it going to be at this location, Jim?
This is the Palm Bay Regional Park. It'll be one of the locations because it's nice and easy. It's got the cabanas,
Yes,
whatever you want to call it.
5 miles from the hotel, right up the road. Same road as the hotel.
Oh, this is a great place to fly, guys. This
And you
It's
get
an
hotel
unbelievable
rates?
place
Yeah.
to fly.
Who's getting hotel rates?
Me.
Jim is. Jim's going to get a block of rooms discounted for us.
See that ninja move by Bill?
Saw that. That was
And
Matrix,
there's
mate.
Yeah, I was
there's
just gonna
another
say Matrix.
Bill
there's
caught
another
it.
section. After this video, I flew this morning out in a different place in the park, and I'll show you the video for that. You can see what that side looks
Dan
like.
put his hat out, the prick.
I seen Carlos' video with his 5-inch, right? Was that your 5-inch when you flew a
Yeah.
little bit higher around the park? That's a
Mhm.
huge part.
And that's only part of it.
That's incredible.
So next year, Carlos, instead of me trying to catch your drone in the hat, I think what I'll do is I'll just stick it out like a basketball hoop and see if you can
Yeah,
land it.
I did
Let's
that
see if
with,
you can land in the hat like a basketball.
I did it
Bill
with
Metro
Dan's-
Drones caught it with his hands.
Yep. And Dan had a bottle of water. I said, watch, I'm going to knock it down. And I got it.
Did you?
Yep. I'll see if I find that one. It's just fun with you. You know what the good thing about these little guys is? You can fly them anywhere. You don't have to go to a big field. You don't have to worry about people, as you can see.
And to be,
So that means he's going to be flying it around the hotel next year. Got it.
Oh, of course. Yeah. In and out of the room, in the conference room. Go bother the receptionist.
This is another area. This is the other side of the park.
I mean, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look out on, you'll see where we were flying last year. It's clear on the other side of the park, but there's never anybody around here, especially on a weekday. And
great place.
You know, I just park right here in the corner of the parking lot, and then I can head off and fly over the playground area and all that other stuff. It's just a fun place to fly.
That playground area is awesome. So much shit to go flying through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was such a pretty day today that this is a little Roma 3-inch with the DJI system on it, and I just wanted to go out and just rip around, soar around, and take in the pretty view. But I think in a minute or two in the flight, I actually decided to go down into the trees in that area.
Is this one you built, Mitch? One of your 3-inch ones?
Yeah, a little Roma 3-inch. In
Build
fact,
them all.
it's one of my favorite quads. I ordered the stuff to build a second one today, just to have a spare. And then I got to build a quad for Carlos, which we're going to do on a live stream.
Oh, nice.
Going to build
3-inch
Carlos
one?
an Acro Brat. We're going to build Carlos a 3-inch Acro Brat
With a built-in DVR.
with the RunCam hybrid 4K camera, and I don't know what night we're going to do part 1, but part 2 of that build will probably be next Monday night on the workshop stream. So.
Would that be under 250 grams, if possible?
No, not the Acro Brat. Acro Brat's a little beefier quad.
Yeah.
What camera's on that?
He's putting the RunCam hybrid on it, which is the dual lens, the one that has the Phoenix 2 on the FPV camera on it, and the 4K
Camera on
4K
top of
digital.
it.
Cool. Look at him going through those trees like a champ. Love it.
Actually, I kind of remember your first flight that day on Friday. You didn't exactly make it through the tree because you wound up walking over there and picking it up.
Me?
No, Carlos.
Okay.
Remember,
No,
I mean, he
think-
took
I don't-
off and like 10 seconds later, he was walking over to pick it up because he smacked it into the tree.
I do a lot of that. It keeps
Yeah.
me young.
That's a lot of exercise, Carlos.
Oh yeah.
But this is goggles footage from the Vista unit in this thing.
Cool. Very nice.
Looks
Mitch.
like GoPro, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost.
Nice and clear.
Mm.
And these guys, there was two guys out there that had just gotten on there. They were mowing the lawn, and they were out there
Making the
watched one of
flight.
my flights, and that's when I did one of those rocket ship takeoffs for him at the beginning of his flight.
Matt, did you get new goggles too, Matt, or just
No, not yet, mate. Not
He
yet.
needs a
I've got
proper
to.
radio.
Yeah. That'll be here. That'll be here next week. So
What'd you
happy
get?
about that.
What'd you get?
I got the TX16S
The Radio Master, Carlos.
radio
Oh, the
master.
radio
Yeah.
master. Oh, okay.
is that open?
All these
TX?
numbers and letters. I think that means something to me.
Yeah.
TX, Matt? Is it open?
Didn't
TX?
mean anything to me 2 days ago either.
PFT 689.
It's open source, mate. Yes, Al.
Open source session. Yeah.
So when T18 comes out, he'll know it's better because it's bigger than 16.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a T12 Pro, and I love that little controller.
Well, little hands, little control.
And they're cheap radios too. The
Big hands, buddy,
TX16S,
big hands.
150.
You know what they
bucks.
say about little hands, Al?
Okay.
Little gloves.
These are XLs right here, buddy. XLs.
Big feet,
XLs.
big shoes, right?
XLs
Yeah.
right here, buddy.
Mm.
Actually,
Excel.
Mitch, I was going to say that I thought the TX16S was one model, a single model. It had whole gimbal and all that sort of shit in it, but it hasn't. There's the 16S with the whole gimbals, and there's a 16S
16S
without.
without.
Yeah. You want the Hall gimbals.
You do want the whole
All
gimbal.
effects.
That's what my T12 has. T12
Yeah.
Pro Hall gimbals are great.
That's what helps them to fly so well and cinematically. You want to fly like Al. Al flies free.
Big hands.
Look at this!
Big
Look at
hands
this
on
landing,
full-
Carlos. Look at this landing. I didn't want to land on the concrete.
Oh, tell me you went under.
I went under. Well, I touched down right under the fence, but it flew.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no big deal. But this was this takeoff where I just shot straight up in the air. Look at that.
Wow, in
That's like-
seconds.
Cool, huh?
Big move.
Yeah.
What a great place
All
to
right,
fly.
how do I stop sharing now here?
On
There
the
we go.
bottom.
Okay.
That is a great place to fly. That's fantastic.
And Carlos was the only one that was able to make my landing pad a landing pad instead of a
that's
launching pad, as Mitch called it.
Well, with FPV drones, it's different.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Especially with the
tricky
camera
because-
angle facing
because
up.
you got the camera pointed straight up, so as you come in to land and you level off, all you see is sky in the goggles. You don't know. You don't really know if you're over the pad. You have to kind of guess at it.
Yeah. Now imagine if you were like a monster truck driver trying to go over top of those things. You probably wouldn't see the thing for
Yeah,
100
same
feet
thing.
because you're so high into the
Same
air.
thing.
Yeah.
Night train.
We got it.
Bike. Night train.
That's
How you
his.
doing?
Is that the 6S?
Oh,
5S possibly. I don't know that he had 6.
plugged in already yet?
He had a 6S, I think, and it was the first day he flew it or something.
It was still only doing 99.99.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Jesus.
Now, what's the difference between the 5S and 6S? Why wouldn't you go
1S.
1S.
Well, that's it. I mean,
Yeah, it's like,
That's it?
11 and a 10.
could you put a 6S? Could you put a 6S battery on that rig?
I would
It-
think
it-
4 to 6.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends.
It's 5S, Mike said.
The Al,
What up when it's
Al,
sailing like that?
the answer to that question is this. The number of cells you use on a quad is pretty much determined by the KV of the motor. Okay, so if you were going to build a 5-inch 4S quad, you'd probably put a 24 2500 kV motor on it. If you were going to build a 6S quad, you'd put an 1800 kV motor All right. So if you've got a 4-inch quad with a 2400 kV motor on it, and you wanted to get a little more power out of it, you could put 5S on it, but you're pushing it. You put 6S on it, you're probably going to burn something out. You need to lower the kV of the motor to handle 6S. So that's the short answer to
George is there next to me.
Good job, man.
I don't know, Mitch. Maybe it's a little bit like the stock cars at NASCAR, right? They run those things on edge.
Well, you got to know how many amps your ESC can handle, because as you increase the number of cells, you're increasing the voltage, and with that, you're going to be probably drawing more current with the same kV motor. But if you
good. That's definitely great if you don't want to have goggles on.
You just end up getting a little too much out of the motor, and you can hurt it. Unless he may have a motor that's rated for 5S on it.
And some lady walking.
It is a 5S drone, he said.
Yeah.
Where you do like the NHRA and just change the engine after every flight.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about quads.
You have that money.
Put a new motor on in 10 minutes.
Hey, I have a question, Mitch. Long range 4-inch quad. Which would you? Do you have a preference?
Well, I don't know.
Other than building your own.
I would probably build one. In fact, I was looking at the Roma 4 frame today, but I decided to buy another. I wanted to build another one of the 3 inches first. But the Flywoo Explorer seems to be the one that gets talked about most. iFlight makes one now. Gepar they all make them, and I think Joshua Bardwell has a video where he compares the top 4 4-inch long range quads, and you might want to watch that and get the answer. Because they send all that shit to him so he can review. To me, they send bupkis.
Oh, this is the race. And you
come
notice,
on, Mitch. You just want them to send you cigars to keep your supply up.
I want to get that part, Carlos, where you tell Adrian after he flies. Do you remember what you said to him?
Who's doing the ready, set, go thing, or no?
No, after Adrian does his first FPV, you tell him, because he was up for like 20 seconds or something like that.
Yes, I remember now.
I'm trying to find that part.
That's when he told me to go F myself.
He goes, it's just like Adrian flew his FPV for like the first time, though, right?
Yep.
It was the first time he ever flew it, and it was like 20 seconds. So Carlos says to him, just think of it like sex.
Oh, well,
take it down to 10
only
seconds.
lasts 10 seconds.
Give me a second.
Well,
That's right.
Hey, I gotta run, guys. Jim, thanks for having me on. Rod, good to see you. Matt, Al, Carlos, take care,
Mr.
everybody.
Fly a drone.
Good night, Art.
Night, Art.
Bye-bye.
Carlos, you love busting his balls.
Nope, I've been very nice to Art, and I just told him fly a drone. That's it.
Yeah.
Adrian went out and bought the DJI drone after this.
You did good. You did good.
Did he really? He bought the FPV drone?
He bought it.
Did good. That's definitely great if you don't want to have goggles on your face. That's setup.
Well, it is addictive.
It's a nice setup if you don't want to have goggles on your face. That's projecting this mirror, right?
It is. But that's a big step straight into
Keep flying.
straight into the DJI drone.
Yeah, they're not like each other, are they?
No.
I think you're safe if you stay in sports mode or normal mode.
Yeah.
And wait considerably a long time before you make that switch. I wouldn't.
The conjecture is that most people that actually buy that drone will never ever flick that switch into acro mode.
Well,
Just fly it around in sport mode or regular mode, because that's the kind of flying they do with the
Night Train bought it. Did he fly it in acro yet?
Not yet, because I mean, even seasoned drone pilots are a little nervous about putting that thing in acro mode.
Right. I don't blame him.
Hey, I got to ask you guys. I've been out at sites and flown the drones with different batteries and everything and different lenses. Who among us has not left something behind and had to go back and get it?
I try not to.
I left a chair behind once. That was about it.
This is what you're talking about here, and I've lost batteries.
I've had to go somewhere. I've had to go back to
Have you?
Yeah.
get batteries. I put
Holy shit.
set down. For
Half hour later, I'm driving down the road and said, "Oh my God, did I bring that battery? No, I didn't."
Oh no.
I want to show Matt a video. I want him to fly his freestyle as such.
Sounds like you need to take a checklist with you, Jim, so that you make sure you pull it, put everything back in that you unpacked.
This is the freestyle, Matt.
Don't give me challenges, Carlos.
Well, no, just fly smooth, fly low.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge.
It does, doesn't it?
Wow.
This is one
Who's
of my
flying?
customers. This is me. My customer has a fish tank, 180-gallon fish tank, and then after I clean, I say, "I'm gonna go fly." Okay, I'll be about a half hour.
That's
Take
awesome.
your time. So I just fly. I've even flown in his house, but
Oh, see, Paulie's done it too. He left the Mavic 2 Zoom controller 2 hours away. I've done it.
Oh, wow.
Ow.
I've done it with batteries. Mitch did it with a chair.
I did it with, I never found the chair. I went back the next day and it was gone. Folding chair. That's how come I got a nice new folding chair now.
I left a 5-inch drone in Florida with a session.
Yeah,
5.
I know you did.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the alligators are enjoying it right now.
I hope I electrocuted one of them.
Mike left the radio on top of his
Yeah,
car
I just
once.
read that.
Yeah, it's not unlike
Oh,
me to
no.
actually get back out my car and check my roof. I've done that many times. Shit, have I left anything on the roof? Just before you take off and do some, decent speeds. So I've got to get out and look, otherwise I'll anyway. So yeah, I've done that.
I'm notorious leaving ND filters behind when I'm taking them off and setting them down.
Yep.
You know what the worst is? Ejecting an SD card that ejects like 2 feet away from you in grass.
Oh no.
That is tricky.
Well, you'll be happy to know, Carlos, that the camera that we're going to put in your Acro Brad has a clip for the SD card.
That's the best.
A
To
clip?
hold
Nice.
it
That
in.
was
A little
cool.
plastic clip on top that you lift up. It covers the SD card. Has a little.
How do you like the flight so far, Matt?
Nice, mate. Nice. I can't do a flip. That's
Don't worry
the
about the flip.
freestyle, obviously. I can't do a flip with that with the Tinyhawk 2 that low. Otherwise, it slams into the ground.
No, you can't. Tinyhawk 2 rolls very slow.
Exactly
Even with a
right.
2S, even with a 2S battery.
2S you get
Not
away
that
with.
much?
2S.
Oh yeah, 2S is a bit different. As long as you throttle up as soon as she comes around back to horizontal, you should
Thanks,
you
Jim.
should miss the dirt.
You
But
did.
the one is just doesn't have the guts to get up.
What were you flying in the park, Carlos, when you were going between my legs and between Mikey?
Mobula 6 HD. Excuse me. Mobula 6 HD.
Is that a
That's the one you
2S?
flew.
1S.
That's
1S.
the one you flew in Manhattan, isn't it? With the nice
Yes.
little 1080 camera on it.
Yes.
I got a question for you. Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Are you in witness protection?
No.
Dre was
Oh,
saying
okay.
something about that earlier.
Talking about the lights, your lighting.
Oh, you don't want to see me. Trust me.
Yeah, man. Put the video up or join us, and we'll play your video.
Who's that? Which one?
Pops off.
Oh, yeah.
Do that, dude. Chuck it in, man.
Where's the invite? Okay, let me put the invite in the YouTube thing.
And Matt, I
All right,
forget
Jim.
that.
I'm gonna pop out here. I'll go out and grab a cigar and watch the rest of you guys out there. Make room for some fresh people who have something to say.
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat. Yeah. So thanks for having
meat.
me in. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Night to
Nice
all
to
the
see you,
guys
Mitch.
in the chat and.
Mitch, what did we say? Friday?
I was thinking Friday night for a build.
Yeah.
It's tough. Everybody and their brothers got live streams, but we're going to do it. We're just going to do it probably 7 o'clock, say 7 p.m. Eastern time Friday night as it stands now. We'll come on and we'll
Sounds
start
good.
building Carl.
What happened to the audio?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
He must
I
have
hear you
clicked his.
guys.
He must have clicked his button.
This is the Mobula 6 65 millimeter, but look at the range on this thing. I just kept going and going and going.
How do I know the range? Where does it say it?
Oh no, just from me, from one end of the field to the other. That's the
Oh,
pole, by the way, that
You free sky on this?
Oh
Is this
yeah.
free sky? Yeah, okay.
And this is the 25,000 kV. It's a fast little prick.
That's moving.
And I don't know, me, I like to fly low. It's all about flying low.
Did anybody even notice it? Because it is pretty small.
1 or 2 people. I flew over a dog. Actually, I flew behind this guy on a bike. The video should come out tomorrow. He's like turning around. He wasn't sure what was going. Actually, I'll show you that video because it's that funny. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
I'm kind of with you on the fly low part, Carlos, except for I do it over water with the GPS.
Yeah,
but
that's even better. Yeah.
I tend to like to fly where the waves are breaking in top, and generally I get about 10 feet up and just freaking run right down the right down the line.
Yep, right where it's crashing.
Right where it's crashing.
Sudsy.
Run straight down.
I like that.
Hey, buddy.
Check this one out, Jim, real quick. You'll see the guy on the bike turning around, like wondering what's the noise or what's. You'll see, and it's a small buzz. Excuse the takeoff.
So I see they tell you your battery rates and all that, but they don't tell you distance, huh?
The distance you can tell with the, you see the 60, 59, 50, 47. That's the RSSI.
Yeah, RSSI.
Oh, okay.
But again, fast and low. 65 millimeter.
Yeah, man.
You can do split
That's a quick
S's,
flip.
kind of. You can do, what do they call that? Rolls. Enough just to, I mean, you can have fun. Look, I'm sitting down. I don't have to worry about hitting somebody with this either.
Is this one a 1S or 2S?
1S.
So I'm moving for 1S.
But I mean, it flies quick.
Awesome, man.
Look, this guy just came out. I didn't see him.
It does make it look faster.
Oh, when you're going, yeah, when you're near the ground, then you can really tell. All right, this is the guy on the bike. Check him out.
Would have been great if you fell. I mean, it would have been wrong.
Oh my God, he hears the thing and he's like,
yeah, he's not sure what to look or where to look.
Is that a bug?
Oh
It'll
God,
be
I
on
had
video
that.
tomorrow.
I had that happen on Saturday. I was at the beach and flying around the waters and the waves and stuff, and there were a couple of, I don't know, they must have been 11, 12, 13-year-old girls down at the beach, and they happened to notice my drone. So I was like, okay, I'll bring it back, and I'll kind of put it out in front of them so they can look at it, because they were kind of pointing at it like, hey, drone. And so I had it sitting there, and the one girl, I knew she was looking at it, and I kept watching her. I was like, it looks like she's like right under the drone, and it was my DJI. So I flipped the camera down. She literally went straight underneath the drone. It was looking straight up, and I was like, "Holy cow! I need to move and get out of here." So
She
poor
walked
girl
under.
doesn't like walk into the blades trying to look at the drone, kind of thing.
What's up,
Carlos,
Adrian?
Carlos, did you buy it?
What's going on, Jimbo?
Say again. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's my bad.
What's up, Carlos?
What's up, Adrian? Did
Hi,
I buy
Diaz.
what?
Here
What's
we
going
go.
on, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Dale, how are ya?
Hey, Jim.
That's a superstar.
Nice to see you two again.
Is that Don George? How you doing, Don?
That's not Don. That's
Don
Rod.
Joyce, mate.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Rod from-
How you doing, Hot Rod?
Yeah. Hey, Adrian.
100% participation.
So, Adrian, you're down here in Florida?
Yes, I am.
You want to move now,
Where
right?
you at? Are you over in Tampa then?
No, I'm actually towards Gainesville.
Oh, you're closer up by Ed and I then. So
Gainesville.
I'm actually north. I'm actually north of Daytona. So
Okay.
Al, what did you ask me about buying something?
I thought you got new goggles.
No, just the FXT. I'm thinking of getting the Cobra X, but when I went to buy them, they were out of stock. But you know what? I put on Drone Bum's DJI goggles, and they cover everything, so you don't see anything. And I kind of like having that bottom open.
No light leaks.
Yeah.
That's perfect on your
Well,
head.
no, I like the light leak. I like to be able to, see what's on my peripheral, just in case. And that the other thing I don't like about the you you're constantly in the goggles is you got to kind of blindly find your stuff.
Yeah, because you got that opening on yours.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Right. I have my goggles open. I can plug everything in, and I can see everything that's going on, and just take
So, Carlos,
my goggles are the last thing I put on because of that reason.
Right, makes sense.
Carlos, so those are the same ones that you borrowed from Mitch?
Yes.
And
I have the screen. I have the same ones, but in order to save bulk in packing, I just brought the screen and used his shell. He was nice enough to lend it to me.
Hey, Jim, did you
that's
ever
got an
put props
HDMI
off of
input on it?
No, only 5.8.
I'm gonna find that out. Yeah, there it is.
I've been
you have
trying
a
to look
video?
around for a set of goggles. I don't really need the antennas and FPV part. I really want a set of goggles for the HDMI, so I could just run HDMI into it.
But you don't mind if it's 5.8? They sell just the screen for $99.
Yeah, I don't need the antennas at all. I just want it.
Well, it comes with cheap antennas anyway.
Got it.
99 bucks.
Because I want to
get the box. Hold on.
The Autel Live Deck that I have has that HDMI out cable on it, so I could literally sit that Live Deck beside me and run that HDMI cable into goggles. One of the issues that I had Saturday, even with having that 2200 nit monitor standing next to me, is the sun down here. When you're next to the water, you can get glares and everything. I mean, I don't care how good of a tablet you have. I don't even care if you get that triple tech. There are times you just bloody aren't going to be able to really see it well enough to sort of judge the distance. So you know how I said I like to fly over the water, right? I'd love to be able to do an HDMI into a set of goggles so that I could see what the hell where I'm at and sort of judge the distance.
Can you do that with the Autel? Doesn't it have an HDMI out on the controller?
It doesn't it has USB, but I have the Live Deck, Jim, so I could simply just pump the Live Deck into a set of goggles and wear the goggles that way.
Yes. I've seen guys using the Live Deck to another screen too, like a bigger screen.
Yeah, I do that as well, and that's what's got me thinking about the goggles. That if I had a pair of goggles doing
the white
that,
ones?
I could see it better.
How about the big white DJI goggles? They wouldn't work?
Not seen them, and not really looked around. You know,
$249.
Adrian has those goofy ass goggles.
This is pops off video.
Nice.
I think I'm like you though, Carlos. I think I like the one that you know, Jim was letting you that you can see the light underneath of you. I just need to block the light above and to my side so that I can still see the bloody screen well enough.
Remember the old time photographers with the blankets?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Let's check out a video.
But you know, when I'm flying, when I'm trying to fly off of the water, if I had something like that so I could see the screen better, I could probably get even closer.
It definitely helps. Yeah, it helps. What are we looking at exactly?
This is pops off video of going through the construction equipment.
Ah, gotcha. Construction equipment is not.
Are they gonna? They're gonna build a neighborhood in that damn field, aren't they?
Where is props off in Florida too?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. It looks corny.
He wants to know what you guys think, because I'm not an FPV guy. I'm not qualified.
What do we think about the flight?
Yeah.
Personally, too much flippy floppy. That stuff.
He enjoys that.
Good. Yeah, I know. Everybody's different style. I like that. I like the nice slow. Oh, will he make it? Ooh, that was good.
So,
Central Ohio, and yep, they're gonna put a damn neighborhood there. I gotta tell you, I don't know where the hell our food's coming from in 20 years.
It's gonna be what do they call that? 3D printed or plastic rice.
Jesus, they're doing it by me here too, man. So I know
what you're
going through.
Precision.
What if he goes through one of the cabs?
It's just the flippy floppies that I'm.
So
they never leave those cabs open. Damn it.
There's one there that's open.
Is it?
Yeah. That one there on the right there.
Yep.
And I like it
I
close
think.
to the ground.
Then again, I don't know. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it might have a window on the other side. I don't know.
yeah, it could do. Could do.
So Carlos, I kind of threw out an idea that
Oh, that was good. I'm listening.
Nice.
down there in Melbourne they have a dinner cruise. So I was thinking, you know, if we go do the dinner cruise next year, you could take the Tinyhawk on the boat and fly around the boat while we're
Absolutely.
eating dinner.
That's the beauty of these little things. See, this flying I like.
Now, guess what? This video had 2 commercials on it, on the front of it.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to jail for it. Is he 107?
No, I'm just telling you that YouTube
No, I
put
know,
two,
but if
2 commercials on the
then
front of
he should be put in FAA jail. I'm just being facetious.
I know.
Right.
You know how I feel about that.
I was talking to Dan, droning veteran, yesterday, and one of his videos, it's going to look 100 views on it or whatever. And he said, "Oh, I've got ads on the front of my video." I said, "Really?" I watched it once, there was no ads. I watched it again, and there it was. There's an ad right in front of his video.
Wow, that was good.
Mine's the same way too, and I don't understand why. How is YouTube doing that?
I don't know, but go ahead.
Brian Mack put a YouTube short out, and it had video ads on it. A 1-minute video had ads.
I got people asking, Agent, do you have your channel monetized? They're like, no, my channel is not monetized. I don't even know why they're playing stuff on my video.
I'm calling the FAA on you too. Expect the call, Adrian.
Yeah, that stuff with the whole social media, they need to stick their nose out of that one.
Yeah.
Prop off's good flight. I'm looking at it now more. Really good.
Nice, man.
There's a lot of flips on this video, man.
You know, some people like the flips.
It's
I like cruising.
It's like target practice.
Oh well, that's basically, in my opinion, what he's aiming for is to gap these vehicles.
That's right, Paulie. They've gone crazy now with their ads.
Now, does that mean that YouTube is making money out of my damn video? Is that what it is?
Yes.
YouTube is.
YouTube is. You're not.
I'd ask for a cut. Or
because
when
my channel is not monetized.
Well, when I call the FAA on you and I report you, you tell them go to YouTube because I didn't ask for any of this. See what they say. I'm curious as to their response. What do you think it would be, Jim?
You'd never see a courtroom.
Damn, that was close. That was
You would
good.
never see a courtroom.
No, right?
No.
Kind of
The
useless.
FAA would never bring it.
It's
stupid.
So, you know, Carlos, I was thinking about this. It's like, okay, so I buy a shirt that has, say, Nike on it, right? So you're gonna take me to court because I'm promoting, because I'm making a promotion because Nike's making money,
Exactly.
because I'm wearing their shirt. Really?
I hear you.
I don't think they're
That's
going to do
about it.
anything unless you get called upon. Someone calls
I
you
think
out.
that I think if they try that in court, they lose that.
No, but even if you get
Big
called
time.
on, how can they possibly say that something that you didn't ask for is your fault? So
Nice,
you should
man.
just turn your channel off. I don't know.
That was a good flight.
Yeah.
And the best part about that flight is he landed it himself without it landing itself.
Hey, Dre was asking where to find the unlocking setting in the smart controller. So it's in the general settings. Great.
I saw you put that up. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, he was asking earlier.
What lock settings are you talking about?
Unlocking when you're by, an airport, you need to do DJI unlock and contact them and give them all.
I hate that crap.
I know.
Hey, I'll just touch on this again. We did touch on it earlier. I mean, about these, the Mini 2, the Air 2, and all that sort of shit. If I was a buyer of the original Air, I would have been pissed off that the Mini 2 came out 12 months later. Real pissed off about that, especially the fact I went to OcuSync. Same here with the Air 2. Be really freaking pissed off if I bought one of them too. And
I was
Tim
hoping
Devine,
to get something out of Mel in the chat.
Didn't they say? Then they made the Pocket and then the Pocket 2, right? They come out about a year later. They ruined what they. Yeah.
Used to be 2 years, and they've dropped it to 1. Now I messaged Tim Devine. Some of you are aware of Tim. About he's got the original Mavic Air. not the original, the Air 2, sorry. And I just messaged him, dude, the Air 2S has a 1-inch sensor. And of course, his response is, bitch. Exactly right. He's pissed off. Why wouldn't you be? He's just bought the bloody thing.
And Matt, I've been trying to make.
Are we supposed to throw these things away? Are we supposed to throw our equipment away and go buy new DJI shit? This is the Osmo Plus. Remember that?
Hey, look at this one. Look, I still have this. I've only used it for like 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Goddamn thing, I haven't even used it again.
But Matt, you're right. So, and it's when this whole thing came out, I kind of, the Air 2 was my first drone. And, what really kind of ticks me off about it is it's not like this is new technology that, in this last year just came about and now they're putting it on the drone. It's one of those, you just feel like they withheld it from the drone a year ago and just didn't do it. And now all of a sudden they're just going to go, okay, yeah, we're going to put it on there. And it's like, okay, this is not new tech. You had this last year. Why didn't you do it when you already had it anyways? It just feels like they're screwing the consumer.
Stop with the damn Sony sensors already. Are you going to use the 383, the 686? They're cell phone camera sensors. All right? Stop acting like you're putting gold in these damn things already.
Yeah, I posted on the Drone Nation an article. It was the Asian article that I forget when it came out. It was probably late summer last year, where they did the bill of material on the Air 2, and it came out to like $135 in parts. But part of what was in that article that I found really interesting was 80% of what's in the Air 2 is off-the-shelf parts. They're basically all cell phone parts that are, it's all made in that part of China anyways. So all they're doing is sourcing from the local guys. The cameras are being made there. The GPSs are being, the IMUs that they put in your phone so it knows which way the screen is tilted is all being built there. And, so that article, they said about the only thing that's in the Air 2 that is actually DJI's and not off the shelf are the controller chips for the motors, is apparently theirs.
Yes,
but everything else is just something they've ordered and, walked down the street and ordered from the guy building it down the street.
That Shenzhen district, I have not been there, but I know a guy who has. He literally said you can go from there, call them stores, from store to store and build an Apple iPhone by the end of the row.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because it's all that stuff is all built in that area. They physically make the chips there. That's why they cost nothing.
Plus, it's one of, what do you call
sure,
where they'll pay.
Nothing to do with what you're talking about. But Adrian, did you take your hats to the cleaners? Because you look different when I look at you in this picture. I didn't even know it was you.
You asswipe.
Are they at the cleaners or what?
No, I just don't feel like wearing one today.
Adrian, what did you want to show us tonight? Remember that video?
I used to so much head.
Okay.
Maybe he got in a fight with a gator. He lives up there by all those gators.
Sure does.
Hey, Jim, go ahead. This right here.
Okay.
He's near Gainesville, so there's lots of gators in Gainesville.
This guy is flying a DJI FPV drone at night.
Oh, nice.
So
let's see how many laws are broken.
So yeah, exactly. So you need to go ahead and watch to see all the laws that this asswipe when I hit on broke. Hey, calm down a little bit, babies.
Do you really pay attention to those little details?
No, I don't. The FAA does, though.
Do you watch the video for pure enjoyment, or do you want to be a Karen?
Yeah, really. I think he's just jealous that he didn't do it himself.
Well, that's why they're making more and more rules.
Where are we flying here? Florida?
No, Adrian didn't make this.
No. What state is this? Anybody know?
I believe that's somewhere either. I don't know. I don't.
Okay,
I don't think you say where it is. I don't know.
I don't know is a fair answer.
Oh wow, man, that's cool. You quit smoking. Cold turkey, right? Nothing else works. Props off, dude.
Oh, good for you. I vape.
I tried vaping, man. It was harsh.
You see, he's supposed to see the little drone right there.
Yeah, that was another
drone in there.
Yeah, that was another drone.
Not for nothing, but it's a pretty nice looking flight.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, it looks good, but I mean, just the shit that he's doing.
Oh, come on.
What is he doing?
Oh, you mean the flying over people, flying over streets?
Yeah, the fucking cars and shit. Yes.
So you feel better when a helicopter with like 200 gallons of gas flies over you? You feel more confident?
That's not the point. You know the helicopter's allowed to do whatever the hell they want to. When it comes to drones, we're not allowed to do it. So it is what it is.
Why are we so willing to, accept that one?
We're not.
I mean, I'm not, but there's nothing I could do about it.
Well, then just join them.
That could say certified aircraft.
I would like to have the ability to fly at night. I would love to take this city at night time. Fantastic views, as you can see. It's totally.
Hell yeah, it looks nice.
My area doesn't look nice. I've flown at night. It just isn't.
Yeah, you need the lights.
It is. Yeah. It isn't worthy.
Yeah.
Do a Brooklyn or Manhattan skyline. That would be nice.
That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Right by the bridge, by the bridges. I flew right next to the Whitestone Bridge. I had no problem. Right across from the Trump golf course.
What's their reasoning for night flights, though? I suppose it's orientation of your aircraft, I guess, because that's the way they want it during the day too.
They think they're the only people that are worthy of flying or capable. Or you have to have a degree of some sort. I don't know.
I tell you what, though, you've really got to know where you're flying when it comes to night time.
Oh yeah,
you've got to know the area. Got to
I
know
some
the
people
area.
that
Otherwise,
put flashing beacons.
So as a hobbyist, it's easier to fly at night than it is as a 107. But I can give you a good example of, at least for me personally, why I like the nighttime, and it's sitting just north of Jim.
Daytona Beach?
No. Kennedy.
Oh,
rocket launches at night and videoing the rocket launches at night when those go up. It's kind of cool.
Don't you guys get TFRs if there's something launching out of Kennedy?
Yep. But
he's close enough that it would be a problem. I'm not.
I get TFRs. He doesn't. How is that possible? You're in Daytona.
You should be getting them. I'm north of Daytona, and the TFR, when they have them, which is for the manned flights, not the ones with just the satellites, is 40 nautical miles, and that works out to be about a half mile south of the pier at Daytona is the edge of that TFR, and I'm actually north of it. I fly north of there. So I'm outside of that TFR by about 3 miles.
When I catch the night flights, they just looks like the red dot when you guys, if I film it, these cameras, I don't have a camera good enough to get in there. Like Ron has that Nikon Coolpix that really zooms in, for God's sakes. That might be a good shot. But
if you look on my channel, I have the video from the Crew Dragon 1 launch in November on there. And actually, I was talking to my neighbor today about shooting the launches, because you can fly there at Titusville. I've talked to some people that say, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of drones that are up in the air when they do the launch." The problem is, you're not going to be able to see the rocket for that long, right? It's not like we can only go 30 degrees up on these cameras. So if you're close, it's going to be out of your camera ability to shoot the thing really fast. And with where I'm at, there on the beach, I think is probably 55 miles from the launch pad. And when I did that Crew Dragon 1, I basically was able to film that thing pretty much all the way up to the point where you just couldn't see it anymore, no matter where you were, kind of thing. It was that high kind of thing. So I've got a really good angle to that thing.
Hey, Adrian, are you contending with high blood pressure? I've seen you a couple of times on replays taking your blood pressure. You're right over there.
Flying at work.
Yeah, I'm good. I just wanted to check it. I'm good.
This is the first time. You're so unique, Adrian. You always come up with something different to.
I started seeing him do that ever since he bought that new drone. Probably shouldn't have ever bought that new drone. That's enough.
You probably just got the bill.
First credit card statement. How much interest?
Shit. 200 a month.
Shit.
Whose
I
video
just
is
paid
this?
$5,000.
This is mine. I was cleaning the fish tank, and I told the guy, "Listen, after I finish, I'm going to fly in your basement for a little while." Okay.
This is his basement?
Holy
Yeah.
cow, that's impressive.
His basement?
Yep.
This guy's
Holy
got
shit.
cash. Holy
Oh yeah.
cow.
This guy's got a lot of money.
And the dollhouse
He
is
lives-
all in. It says it all.
He lives on the same block where Erica. Well, no, same neighborhood. Erica from All My Children or whatever. Freaking.
Oh, yeah.
The game though. That's badass.
Have a look at this joint. Basement.
Jesus.
Did you install
hell.
that fish tank?
My house.
Yes. 300 gallon.
That's
Oh, man.
there's a lot of money in that room, I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
there is. I bet you that dollhouse is about 5 G's.
I don't know. He built it for his granddaughter, I believe.
Yeah, but that furniture alone is
Oh, everything else, yeah.
look at
Okay,
that.
The San Francisco couches, those are not worth anything.
Look at this little game room. Look at that.
I got stuck there. That was it.
Al,
a nice
are you
place,
jealous?
right?
Yeah.
Freaking nice place. But the
Jim,
best part
Jim,
is
if
my
you want, I
customers
shared
let me
the
fly.
rocket
You know,
launch video.
they don't care.
So this is where I fly. This is the Crew Dragon launch back in November, and
Rigor mortis.
it's really nice where I fly from because basically I can look off in the distance and there's a hotel that's sort of on the edge of the land, and I can literally look just a little left in that, and it winds up being almost dead center to Kennedy. So that's the rocket taking off, and there it is in the air. Obviously, the guy up there in the airplane was probably doing the same thing I was, videoing the rocket. So,
But like you say, they go off. Once they go up, they go off at like a 30-degree angle.
Rob,
Yeah,
what did you
so
catch that with? Was that
You
with
got a
the
nice
Evo too?
cloud.
that's the
Cloudless
Evo.
night.
This is the Evo.
Look at
So-
that. That's impressive.
There it is. And I just zoomed in on it, right? So this is what I like about having that Evo with the OLED sensor at night. This
The
is
camera's
fun.
unreal. I have to admit that. The camera's
It-
definitely.
being able to take video like this is just
Happy.
so there. That's where I ran. That's where I ran out, being
Plug
like
that in
50,
there.
55 miles out.
Yep.
Those guys were pretty bloody high up there. Where if I was flying at Titusville, I may be able to see the first 20 seconds of the flight, and then the things above where you could shoot the camera.
Yeah, they hit the clouds and they're gone for me.
Hey, Rod, I was going to ask you about your Evo. Do you have a horizon issue?
I
On
do,
occasions, not all the time. On occasion,
the funny part about the Evo is depends on which firmware versions. There have been issues where you'd have to kind of monkey with it. 2.6.22, which is the one that just released. If I do the gimbal calibration on the ground before I take off, I literally have no issues with the horizon. Although it does seem like I have to do it like every flight. I don't know why it's not saving. It's like it's not saving it or something. But anyways, it's not like it takes that long, right? Turn the drone on, click gimbal calibration. Okay, fine.
I usually adjust it when I take off. And I remember.
You can kind of do that as well. But no, with this latest firmware, no real issues with the horizon and the drone flies great on this firmware. It flew great on 2.512, which is 2 generations back. The previous one had a bad, nasty gimbal tilt, but mine was in for repairs when that firmware came out. So by the time it came back, I knew enough not to install that firmware. So, but we've seen that with like DJI, right? At one point, the Air 2, like Philly Drone Life was having a problem with the Air True, where it didn't seem to be taking both the stick inputs on his Air 2. It was like it was only taking one, and then they updated the firmware again, and then all of a sudden it was kind of so.
Hey Jim, you could turn rigor mortis into blue.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I think they all end up.
Right?
I think they all end up having issues at some point.
I get a lot of magnetic interference issues lately. I don't know why. Same spots I've always flown.
Well, you know what it is with Philly though. Testing a firmware update in his location.
Oh yeah, with all the interference and metal and everything else, yeah, he's got his challenges.
I'll tell you what, they haven't fixed. They haven't the original Mavic Pro. They still haven't and never have fixed the problem when you do a hard slew to the left or right on a 3-axis gimbal. Horizon goes like that, and they've never fixed it. And in post, every time I've got to keep my slew as long as I can, and a bit of yaw, whatever I'm doing with it, and in post every time because I know I've got to do it. I do a long shot. I've got to go.
So you're saying it's like the FEMI?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
Not that I don't have a FEMI and I wouldn't know, but that's what everybody talks about with the FEMI is that the horizon is always tilted.
Yep, that is true. Mine does that. That is true.
The Pro's fine. The first Pro's fine when you're going a straight line all that, but as soon as you put some slow in, there goes the horizon. So I've had to adjust my my flying to accommodate for that, so it's easy to edit in post.
And I forgot to ask Matt, what part of Australia?
Brisbane.
The dangerous part.
Oh, you're over on that side.
Yeah, I'm over the good side, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Sydney and Melbourne, so.
Oh, have you? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Sydney's only about 10-hour drive from me. That's not
Only.
That's nothing.
I've been everywhere in the world but Asia. Literally, and Antarctica, which I wouldn't never want to go to Antarctica, but I've literally been on every other continent.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Have you decided on which ready to fly Tinyhawk you're going to get to learn how to fly Acro, or are you just going to do the DJI FPV thing?
I'm actually going to go ahead and get one. I'm still going to do my FPV DJI, but I actually got one in the shopping cart in Amazon that I haven't hit purchase on it yet. Let me tell you which one. Give me a minute. Let me find it.
Why don't you go from RDQ?
I thought you were getting that Tinyhawk 2 already. And I asked you, I said, is it the one with the props, the prop guards? And you said no.
No, it was another one that I looked at.
Okay.
He wants the Tinyhawk 2, not the freestyle. Just the Tinyhawk 2.
That's the one with the prop guards?
Yes.
Okay.
And Matt, which drone did they get for the lifeguards out there? They ordered like the 80 drones. Was it the Mavic 2 Pro or was it the Enterprise that they gave those guys?
Enterprise they took for the speaker capabilities and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for the sharks, Jim. It's actually a really bloody good idea. Like in our area, I think it was October of 29 was that drone picture of those sharks at New Smyrna, right? Where the guy was looking down on the sharks there at New Smyrna. So
yeah, it seems so easily. That's
I
what we're talking
remember
about.
seeing a lot of companies concerning you, Matt, your area, years ago, that were going to drop. Remember the one that was going to drop 6-round life preservers to people and all this crap? And here they are using the Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not much of a payload on that.
Matt, you know what? In the EU, if you get a Tyrannus, a controller, maybe Al knows about this. They don't have D8 mode in the EU, right?
No, 16s, yeah.
You only have D16, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
in EU, yes, not in Australia.
Oh, so you're not all right. So you don't have that issue.
No,
you can have D8 and D16 in Australia.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So who is CASA for? Is that just for the United Kingdom?
Australia. Just no, that's not CASA. CASA is just for Australia.
Okay.
FAA's America, and then New Zealand's another one as well. Can't remember what they are.
It's like CAA in Britain, right?
Yeah, and Canada's different again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada has some good.
No, the reason I brought that up is because then you would be able to hook up to the freestyle. What'd you say there?
Hang on.
His Tourette's coming out.
It is. It's his boredom. See, he gets bored and he just.
I said, change him kicking in.
You think he's muted?
There goes his internet again.
No, he said in Spanish. He said in Spanish he loved you.
Yeah,
a few times. Yeah.
Given where he lives, Matt, it's probably an alligator chewing on his toe.
It would be.
That's called Dominican Tourette's. That's what that's called.
You have to blurt out some Spanish, otherwise you. Yeah.
It happens to the best of them.
Oh dear.
Me in a can.
Hey, I heard that they were dumping the Matrice 600 Pro.
Really?
DJI, yeah. I heard they were end-of-lifing that.
Yeah, they had that article with all of those. The 600 still got a pretty decent long time. I think the 300 did. It was yours, Jim, the 210 that I found.
That's hilarious.
Had a pretty short lifetime on it.
Oh, they ended the 210?
Yeah.
Wow.
The crystal sky, too. Everything.
Do you have that article, Jim?
Incredible.
No, I didn't pull it up.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that article. I know which.
You would think they make it open source and no longer proprietary, so third-party vendors could,
right?
Sell things and we can benefit from them.
All the friggin' money you got invested in this crap.
Yeah, it sucks.
At least let us get the batteries. I mean, come on, man. They're making a fortune on batteries. I mean, fortune.
Where would you get your batteries? Who would you get it from? You would just have to find a third-party place, whatever that may be.
You can get tattoo batteries, but you got to know the proper C rating, and of course, the voltage on the side is 28.6 or 28.8.
You know who makes the electronics for their batteries?
No,
Texas
Chinese
Instruments.
guy.
No, Texas Instruments.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a guess.
I read that article. It's Texas Instruments makes their battery chips.
Actually, I saw some the other day.
And the other interesting part is they're wireless. The whole OcuSync, blah, blah, blah. It's a company called Cuaro or something that is also a U.S. company.
That's good for a change. I like to hear that.
I did see that. And you know what? I only saw that yesterday, that it was the batteries of the U.S. I only saw that yesterday. I thought,
just the chips, right? So the intelligence part of the batteries is Texas Instruments.
Yeah. I know. I saw that.
Smart.
I think it might have been eBay. Yeah.
That smart controller is what's holding you back from just putting your own damn battery on. Because I remember there was a company. I don't think it was PJY Tech or PGY, but they made a clip that you could put that clip on and then add your own X60 battery connectors on it and use them. It didn't go over big with the Inspire crowd.
Early in the Air 2 life, I think it must have been a guy over in Taiwan. He hot-wired two batteries together.
Ouch.
The thing with those... Go ahead.
I was going to say, there's a thing on eBay or bloody somewhere anyway. There's a piggyback. And the battery actually sits on top of the standard Mavic 2 battery, and the wire goes down, obviously, and connects up to some shit. But anyway, it sits on top, and you've got another battery. Now,
yeah, that's what this guy did with an Air 2. He hot wired two of them together.
How do you know though? How do you know what that battery's at? How do you know how long you've got to fly?
Right.
Because it's only taking information off that chip of the standard battery. You don't know what that top battery's up to. Unless there's some sort of telemetry you can actually access or get. I don't know. So it's a little bit of obviously you're going to
get a timer on it, maybe.
Yeah, but
it's charging the standard battery.
But think about this, Matt, though. If the top battery is basically feeding the bottom battery, then the electronics is basically going to tell you, hey, the battery's full. So you still know that the top battery is still feeding. So it should sort of, top down kind of thing. So, when you start seeing battery, when the battery starts dropping, then this first the one on top is completely drained.
Two batteries become one almost.
Right.
I can't imagine that making a Mavic 2 battery swell.
But you're adding weight now, so you're also shortening the time. You're changing the center of gravity. Sure. You're shortening the time.
They're not light either.
Something about the Matrice 210. When I'm hanging two cameras on the front of it, those two front motors are working like a bastard to keep that thing level.
Yeah.
So, Jim, what are you going to do in yours? You just keep it? You're going to hold on to it? Or are you going to sell it? Are you thinking about selling it?
No, I'm keeping
it. Move up?
I keep my Inspires. Yeah. They'll be batteries. There'll be batteries.
I thought you or Dan was going to work something out where he was going to hack a battery and...
Still working on it. Yeah. There's some other guys that are in it too.
You've been talking to Night Train, mate. Did he send you a mug holder there?
Oh yeah, you see that, huh?
There you go.
That was the mug envy at the meetup.
Rodney,
the Rodney Bell Cup envy.
Mug envy. We always have envy over something. It's mic envy, mug envy, camera envy.
And big hands envy, right? Right, Al?
One thing we never have.
Big hands envy.
It's always It's always the next drone envy.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I don't get that. I really don't. When you've got a camera that's good enough,
exactly,
and it's doing what you want, I don't give a damn what drone you put out. I didn't buy any Mavic Mini 2 I've got an Osmo sitting here that's an Osmo Plus 4K with zoom and all that. Why would I buy the Pocket? But I did buy the GoPro. You know why? Because it's just this tiny little thing in your pocket. It's just so easy.
Yeah.
Instead of having to drag this damn thing around with a cell phone that I now have to attach to it and Wi-Fi connect. Your shot's gone. Yeah.
Was that the original one you could put the X5 on?
Yeah, that's the original. Yeah, I got the X5, and it's the $2,000 Pro when you put the X5 on.
Right, yeah.
See, I kind of wonder if DJI, with this move with the 2S, isn't going to wind up putting themselves in the same boat that Apple did when Apple crossed that $1,000 price. All of a sudden, everybody kind of went from, okay, we're just going to do it every generation, to everybody started looking around and going, can I wait a couple of extra years? I'll wait till the next generation thing. So by pushing that to us into that $1,000 range, are they going to sort of wind up with the same thing that happened to Apple, in that maybe this I need to buy a drone every time a drone releases kind of thing will sort of slow down?
You know what? It's
they got to beat the Mavic 2 Pro in order for me to even be interested.
Exactly right. I was just going to say that, Jim. Yeah,
I think they're pushing all these drones out before RID. I think they're just these. All
but the interesting part is they've said that they're
pushing them out.
That's going to be a transponder that'll just Velcro onto.
They said they held the Mavic 3 though because of remote ID, right? So on one hand, they tell you the 3 is delayed because they wanted to make sure what remote ID was, this, that, and everything else. And then, like a week later, they go, oh, here you go. Here's the 2S.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're going to hold one, then why don't you hold the other one? And
they've taken Apple's business motto. Buy something new, 6 months later, something newer comes out.
Yeah.
And if you're a fanboy, you just get screwed. You learn to get screwed.
That's right. They do too.
If you take a stand and just don't buy their product.
Well, I'm really waiting to see what the replacement is. I mean, there's only 2 cameras. They're all great cameras. But basically, when it comes down to it, the Mini 2 right up there, they're great cameras for what they are. You can't go wrong. But having that aperture is a fantastic thing. And really, there's only 2 cameras that DJI offer at the moment if you want some sort of professional control over anything, and that's your Phantom and Mavic 2 Pro. both totally different cameras, both totally different footage you get from these sensors.
And you're talking those models, because the X5S to me is on a whole different scale. That son of a bitch takes a picture
that's 12.
Yeah.
Isn't that a 12 bit? And then you got
it goes 6K.
Yeah, I'm just talking like
I'll be back in a little bit.
So,
I got to share, Jim.
Okay, bro.
Instead of watching your mug.
It's DJI constantly wanting to take our money, and they're not outdoing themselves.
Well, that's right, you know, and to be honest, it's going to have to be something really freaking special. And as we're talking about now, getting away from that sensor, and putting something to the quality of the X5 or something like that on there, you know, as a replacement, because they're going to have to do something extraordinary.
Now you're going to have to take steps back. Everything was portable. Now you're going to go back to larger drones again?
Well, it depends on what package they put it in. They might be able to put something in like the X5 in a lot smaller package now. Who knows? But it's going to have to be something that is well advanced of what they have to offer now to replace that, because the 2 Pro's camera is so good. They're going to have to do. I mean, the 1-inch sensor that they got isn't a Hasselblad on the AIR, the 2S. Well, it's really not a Hasselblad anyway. But anyway, no. It's not Hasselblad branded. It's DJI branded. I'm going
to assume that this camera is, in terms of video, is probably going to be probably superior than the Mavic 2 Pro.
No,
and its capability.
So Matt, interesting question on that.
You don't think so?
Even though it's not branded Hasselblad, do you think they use the same sensor? Because because they got put on the entity list, they probably have a bunch of those sensors sitting around.
Sony sensors.
It's the same sensor, mate. It's the same sensor.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I kind of wondered there's kind of two thoughts been going through my head, because I deal with these big companies and on the back end because of what I do. In one way, I think they went to that 1-inch because of how well the Evo is doing. You kind of look at it and go, the marketing guys are probably starting to get a little nervous and going, hey, telling the production guys, hey, we need to compete better with these guys, because they really are starting to take a small chunk out of it. It's probably not big, but it's big.
Skydio was coming out too, and they didn't know what they were going to put on the Skydio.
It's big enough. It's at least big enough to get their attention, to make them want to think about making a move, right? So that 1-inch sensor, in one way, is probably a reaction to that. But then I also got to thinking about it. You have their supply chain guys who are sitting there going, gee, we're not selling all these enterprise drones, and well, we have all these 1-inch sensors sitting around. Why don't we just upgrade it to the 2S so that we can clear our shelves of these sensors for the drones we can't sell because we put on the entity list? So this is why the 2S has got all kinds of red flags for me as to what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, they upgraded the OcuSync as well. That's OcuSync 3. Now, to be quite honest, OcuSync 2, OcuSync 3 really doesn't matter to me, because OcuSync's OcuSync to me, because I'm not going to be flying 10Ks away. Right. I just want that nice connection close.
Hey, Matt, inside secret, the 2S remote controller is the same exact model as the Mini 2 and the Air 2. They're all the same model. So 03 is literally a software change.
Yep.
They didn't do a hardware change on the remote controller. So they could literally put 03 on the
smart controller,
on our current controllers. They could put it on the freaking smart controller. It's literally a software change.
Yeah. Well, they did that with the original Pro ones too. They're the same controllers. Pro 1, Pro 2, Zoom, all that sort of stuff. They're all the same thing. And
again, if you look at any contender that's coming up, the only one I see is the Sony AirPeak. Okay, if you look at their video, they're using a Gremsy T3 gimbal, okay, and they're putting their own A7 III camera on it, but the controller, this is what Matt was talking about. The controller isn't like Ascendance controller where you can change aperture and change EV and all this other crap. It's a regular push-button controller. So you're telling me you're going to try and fly an A7S III camera on there and not be able to control the camera aperture and stuff?
Yeah, Jim, there's a couple of things with that. I saw something somewhere. That's going to be a two-person drone. So there's going to be one guy piloting it with one remote, and then there's going to be another remote that is for the camera.
Wasn't the Inspire like that? Or could have been like that?
No, you could do that. Yeah, I've got with two controllers for it.
But
One guy
you're also overlooking one drone that's coming, Jim.
What do you think?
I think everybody needs to be, well, at least if you're a camera guy, needs to be looking at closely. And that's the XDynamics Evolve 2.
No. They only have a 12. They only came out with the 12 megapixel. They never came out with the 20 megapixel. So they'll not get a dime of my $2,800.
Hey, I have a question for Mr. Matt. Are you there, Matt?
Yep.
You hear me? Yeah. You do this for a hobby, right? Not for a living?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
And you still
all the drones?
Even with what you have, you would still find the need to get another one, possibly?
With what I have, no, not at the moment.
Okay. Like, what could they possibly offer you more? What is that?
That's the Evo 2, and it only has the 12 megapixel on it.
But you can put standard camera lenses, which means you can flip it between a wide angle, a standard, a telephoto.
I do that now with the X5S. I have Olympus lenses. I've got a 25, a 45, and a 15.
Yeah. So that Evolve is essentially a shrunk down Inspire that's coming, is effectively what it is.
Listen, it's a single body frame. I liked it in person, but they didn't get their thermal shit together. Neither did Autel with this damn boson. The FLIR boson and the Mavic 2E, whatever the hell that thing, they're crap. If you're not flying a FLIR View Pro, you're useless higher than 30 feet up. So I'm not going to be scammed. Okay, you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah, and you're using it from almost a corporate perspective in a business, so you really need it from that perspective. Somebody like me who's not going to be selling services around it, the fact that like that Evolve is 12 versus something else, it's not everything about megapixels. It's also the size of the pixels that are in that camera as to how much dynamic range it has. And they made sure even on that one that they actually used a sensor with extra large pixels on there. So you may get more dynamic range than you will with something with a higher megapixel on it. You want a good example of that? Look at those 100 megapixel phone, cell phone cameras.
The one
kind of thing. It's got all the it's got all the megapixels, but go take Jim's favorite 20 megapixel camera that's got bigger pixels in it, and it's gonna look better than that 100 megapixel.
We've talked about micron size before, and
micron size is the difference.
People were not impressed when I talked about it, so I stopped talking about it.
Yeah. So in the chat there, Jim, I put the link to that end of life article.
But I mean, how long have we been hearing that they were going to do something like a Phantom 4 with interchangeable lenses? That would be so easy to do, and yet they've never come out with it.
Well, it takes away another sale to another model. It's you got to upgrade, and this is the thing, and this is what I'll get to you with Carlos, is that sure, it's a hobby, right? It's like any hobby, and you look at any photographer. They start off with a Brownie camera and end up with some Canon thing or whatever they need with a lens the size of Peter Carroll's. Now, it's all a progression, and it's a personal thing, it's like your drones. You start with the Tinyhawks, you go to the freestyle, you go to a 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch. You're always improving, and it's exactly the same with a drone. And when it comes to a drone like that 2S, I'll never buy one because I'm looking at the camera. It's not better than what I've got.
Right.
If there's something better that's on offer, then I'll maybe look at it. And this is why I was hoping that the Evo 2 came out with something better than what the Mavic 2 has. And in my opinion, it's not better. It's around about the same. So it's not really upgrading. It's a different it's a different color profiling. Oh, actually,
originally they were going to
sharper
come out
camera
with
too.
It. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the 2S 10-bit file footage looks like. Because I would happen.
Well, you know what? I just got a message from Ari.
Technology that it's probably going to be a tad bit better than the Mavic 2 Pro, even though it doesn't have aperture.
I'll tell you something else. I use the Mavic 2 Pro on HQ mode all the time. I never take it off of HQ mode. So I'm never getting that full field of view because of the GoPro factor.
And so, Matt,
I'll tell you, right?
Go ahead, Matt.
I'll just quickly touch on this. I just got a message from Ari. Ari's obviously watching the stream here, and he's got what the 2S lacks, apart from the adjustable aperture, is the Hasselblad color profile, which is correct, which is a software implementation, and obviously DJI did not decide to include this as it's not not to cannibalize the Mavic 2 Pro.
I wonder if it's going to have the
they're
log.
not the same profiles. They're not the same thing.
Right. I don't know.
I did see where it said the 2S will
have to. Please, it'd have to.
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me if they took the log out, Matt, just to strip it down to not compete with the Pro. But I agree with you, Matt. The thing I've been telling people, I've been telling people about that 2S with the 1-inch, right? I think you and I are probably in the same boat on this one. If you already have something that has a 1-inch sensor on it, I don't care what it is, right? It could be the Evo, it could be the Mavic 2 Pro. I don't care what it is. If you have something with a 1-inch sensor, why do you think you need to buy the 2S? You already have a 1-inch sensor. You want to spend another $1,000 for what you've already got sitting in your inventory? Come on, use your brain a little bit. Don't get sucked in by this.
That's that marketing.
But it's not just DJI though, guys. It's YouTube. You got all these YouTube channels out there, and they go the next greatest thing, the next greatest thing.
Yeah, but they're getting it from DJI.
Yeah, no, I get it. They're kind of instigating it, but it's a little bit of both. And it's like, act more like a normal consumer. Quit drooling over every last.
Oh, you know that people, they come out with a new cell phone, they wait for a day and a half online that's just for a cell phone.
Yeah.
People do crazy stuff for whatever. People wait online for sneakers.
They line up, mate.
Even for sneakers.
Fucking look at the Apple lineup. Have a look at the Apple lineup when a new iPhone comes out.
Here, Rod. This is me testing out off the HDMI. There's a TV inside the back of my car here, and this guy's.
Oh, I kind of heard you had to set up like that.
Yeah, and he's sitting there going to move his arm because what we're doing is trying to check out the lag, the latency. I'm about a mile away right now. The drone, it's the Z3, which is a 30 times zoom. And this is out at the compound we were talking about. This is an actual flying spot where RC guys get together. And here I just pull out.
Holy crap.
I'm a mile away from that goddamn thing.
Wow.
See, this is the part that ticks me off about as a consumer who bought into Autel and knowing, hey, we got interchangeable lenses, right?
Yeah.
To this day, your only option on those interchangeable lenses is the lens from one of the other drone models. It's not like they released just a camera. The what I've been drilling over, wait for them to do, Jim, is why don't they have a telephoto camera for the Evo so that I can put telephoto on it? And ironically, telephoto lens in some ways helps with the whole remote ID beyond visual line of sight and all that kind of stuff. If I can zoom in on something, I'm a heck of a lot less likely to want to go fly 2 miles away if I can put the thing over my head and still see what I want to shoot. kind of thing.
This is that same concept. Why would I go and buy anything else?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. With your 210 and your setup, none of it can come close to any of that.
That video is the reason why people get on your case, Jim, because holy cow, that looks like you can be, a mile away looking for somebody's window.
Matt's cell phone camera has 108 times zoom on it. 108. nighttime zoom on it.
Holy shit.
That's why.
Yeah,
But
That's a
he has
pretty-
to be dead to hold it still enough to, because
Yeah, and that's the
Maybe
I know
problem.
this
No,
guy.
I use a brick wall.
Does a
Whenever I
mosquito
zoom
have
in, mate, I use
balls?
a brick wall. Steady.
you have
Does
to
a
actually.
mosquito have balls? I don't know. Let's ask Matt.
I know moths do. Anyway,
Moth balls.
The only trouble, that was pretty funny, Carlos. To be honest, that was good.
what I'm trying to figure out is how
Mothballs.
they don't break the wings when they harvest them. How do you suppose they do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Can you imagine how many they have to collect to make one mothball? That's a lot of moths, mate.
And
That's a lot
Jim,
of moths.
And they stink.
if they wanted to be a bad guy, they just go get that little one that the army has that, is what, like 3 inches long and flies for like 20 minutes.
Yes.
If that thing
a
was
little
outside your
drone?
window, you'd never know the thing was sitting there because it's that freaking small.
What did they call that thing again?
Almost looks like
I
a small
can't remember the
helicopter.
name on it. It's like $80,000 a machine for those.
It seriously looks like a mosquito.
Oh, that's because the government is buying it. So
It's like a little mini helicopter. It's
Yeah.
like a little
$300 hammer.
it's like a little
Yeah.
2-inch helicopter. It's kind of what it is.
yeah, it looks like a small helicopter. I've seen that. Look at the wind. That's pretty windy.
Yeah.
Wow,
This is at
zoom,
this is at
dude.
night.
Good
This
point,
is at
Max.
night.
That's ridiculous.
You see the lights, right? This is at nighttime.
Wow.
They don't even sell that camera anymore, huh, Jim? DJI, or do they still?
No, they don't sell the Z30 anymore.
That's
It was
amazing.
$10,000 when it first came out.
Wow.
You bought it. Wow.
This is all at nighttime.
I want to get a bit of qualifier. Get
There's
a
no-
bit of qualifier on that sky there.
There's no sun out. It's totally pitch black out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
This is the compound. It's totally pitch black.
Wow.
Look at the roads. I mean, Jesus, you can.
You can't hide.
Incredible.
There's people that saying, I remember when I had that motorcycle gang problem. You can't hide from these drones. Today, this is a 2017 or 2018 drone.
Should I ask about the motorcycle gang problem?
Yeah, you didn't know they had come after me?
No. What'd you do?
My car is way off in the right background there. They thought that I was spying on them, on their clubhouse.
Oh, with a drone? Yeah. Really?
But I had to be that far away in order to get the pictures from a Wawa that was being built.
Gotcha.
So they thought that the drone hovering over their clubhouse was spying on them.
Oh, I gotcha.
But in fact, I had to back up that far just to see the construction area.
Right.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing marijuana is legal in Florida because you're probably flying over a few of those guys too.
Right?
Is it legal in Florida?
It's not
Yeah.
Medical.
Medical is.
That's
Yeah.
not legal. That's not
Yeah, but the
legal.
farmers can still legally grow it for the medical stuff.
You know what's funny is I looked that up, Rod. I don't know if you did, but I looked
No.
it up, and they had in 2014 they had decided which 6 farms were going to be growers, approved growers.
Oh, somehow
How-
that doesn't surprise me.
Right. That's a behind the scenes game.
Somebody knows somebody.
Right.
How do you think politicians go in poor and come out
rich?
millionaires?
Sure do.
Is because of dumb stuff like that.
Drone 863 asked if you think there's going to be another
Inspired 3.
Inspire 3.
I think when they came out with that the M300 reduced the capabilities of the M200 because I can fly 2 cameras and I can fly a camera on top of it. Then they came out with the M300, which only carries 1 camera. I don't know where they're headed. I have no idea where DJI is headed now.
I think they moved away from the Inspire and more towards the enterprise sector.
Yeah, the 300 would probably be more of a replacement for that Inspire, right? I
Yeah,
mean, they're
yeah.
both single cameras. You can change the lenses on the cameras. All they're relatively equivalent.
And they
So,
came out
yeah,
with that
did you
new
get it?
P1. Did you see that P1 camera? It's a 24 megapixel. I don't know. I think it's like, I'm not going to quote I'm not going to quote. I think it's $10,000 to $13,000 camera.
Did you get it, Elias?
Get what?
What you told me the
I
other
didn't
day?
get it. I didn't get it.
You change your mind? You change your mind?
It's not an easy thing to do. That's a lot of money.
Gotcha. Well, you said you were going to pull the plug on it. Now, you were really sure.
And speaking of a lot of money, that's another conversation that I've been trying to have, at least with the drone guys. Everybody looks and goes, "Hey, this is expensive. That's expensive." And I keep trying to tell people, try to go jump into the camera hobby.
Yeah.
And start thinking about how much money you're going to drop. A Canon R5, right? That new 8K thing, right?
Yeah.
Just the camera body, you can't even take pictures. You just buy the body, is like $3,600 for that, and then you're gonna spend. You're gonna spend $1,500 to $2,000. Well, actually, you're gonna spend more than that because that new R camera lens is proprietary to them. You're gonna pay at least $2,000 just for a lens. So now you're approaching almost $6,000 to finally be able to take pictures with that thing. So what we spend to drones is inexpensive compared to cameras.
To be able to get this shot, the camera is actually 3 or 4 blocks away over their clubhouse.
Right.
So all of a sudden,
really?
So all of a sudden I'm standing there and there's 5 guys with guns rushing at me.
Literally.
Literally, Florida is a what do you call it, Adrian?
Yeah.
Concealed carry.
Concealed carry state. They don't worry about the concealed carry part.
I knew you guys were crazy because they gave my son at 21 a freaking carry, or 23 a freaking gun license. I was like,
yeah, my neighbor was telling me, because he knows some of the guys here in the county, and he was saying on Mondays and Fridays, the #1 license handed out is the concealed carry license, not even driver's licenses. There's more concealed carries than driver's licenses on Mondays and Fridays.
Hey, the older we get, the less capable we become of saving ourselves in a confrontation.
You know what? You would think you're less apt to rob somebody because he could possibly be carrying.
And that's always been the theory, right? And it's just it's like bullies in school, right? They only bully because they can.
Right.
They don't bully the guys that could fight back. It's kind of with the point of, we need more good people to have guns.
Yep.
So that the bad guy doesn't know who might actually shoot back. Which theoretically will keep them from being stupid in the first place.
I agree.
It's not exactly a rocket science concept there.
If I was a thug, I'd rob Adrian. He looks like an easy mark.
So Aldiaz, I tried the simulator.
You were trying Amazon, and you were saying it's in your cart, and you never came back and told us.
Just say in normal.
I got the Emax Tinyhawk 2, ready to fly.
The whole thing.
Well, that's the new. Isn't that the new one? Isn't that the new one they came out with?
It's kind of new, not really. No. You're talking about the DJI. Now, Adrian.
Oh.
I think you should order on the same order extra propellers for that, and extra batteries.
According to this combo, ready to fly kit, it comes with an extra set of props and 3 batteries.
What batteries? They say?
It says the Emax
450.
No, it doesn't even say that.
Well, you know what? You still need more batteries. 3 batteries. You're going to be done in 10 minutes.
I think it says something like, what is 200 MW?
Milliwatts.
That's the camera, the milliwatts.
Okay.
See, even I knew that one.
That's another thing, Carlos. Something about the milliwatts with the camera too, on that tiny the freestyle. I mean, I'll have to look into it once I get this controller and all sorts of stuff, chuck it through Betaflight and really play around with it a little bit more. I haven't flown it since the other day because it just pissed me off because of the controller I have. It's just useless. And I mean, it's all right, but constantly fighting a yaw and a what do you call it, a sloop at the same time, trying to fly. It's just, and that has actually transferred over to my Tinyhawk 2. I took it out yesterday for a crack, and it was doing the same thing on that now. So something's changed in that controller, which is just shit. But anyway,
Too bad
which I did
a
find.
flight.
Well, you can. It doesn't do anything.
I like this question. Is 6K or 8K excessive for us? And I think I'd say yes. I'd say 4K is great. Because I've seen 4K on 8K TVs at CES, and there's no difference. Why would I go buy 8K cameras? I mean, so much your eyeball
makes
can
a difference?
see, man.
Hey, Jim, you know what those are for, right?
That's right. And what does make it?
Big screens. I have a home theater system. I'm kind of lucky there. I have a 150-inch screen with a projector.
Right.
And 8K, you only start seeing the difference for 8K above 120 inches in the screen size. So literally in the TV market, 8K is nothing more than a gimmick to get people to go buy new TVs. Are they going to be able to see it?
That's right.
They're not going to be able to. They're literally probably not going to be able to see a bloody difference at all.
But they can tell their friends they got 8K.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. But on TVs,
But you know
I was
what does
watching
make
4K on the 8K, and I was, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, but what does make a difference when it comes to TVs and the smaller screen sizes is the QLED, OLED, and all that sort of thing. That makes a massive difference to screen quality and what you're actually looking at. Fantastic, those OLEDs and all that sort of stuff. Love them.
LG is the only one making the great panels, and in fact, even Samsung.
That's the OLED.
Is buying the LG panels.
So think about this, Jim. This conversation that we're having here is literally identical to that conversation with the cameras with the pixel size, right?
Right.
It's not that I have 8,000 pixels. I got 8,000 pixels instead of 4,000 pixels. That's not really, but it's the size of the pixels, which is what Matt just said, right? Whether it's OLED or all those other technologies that are there for the displays. Mm-hmm. It's not about the number of pixels that is making the difference.
Hey, Matt, you didn't finish the thought on the camera and the milliwatts and stuff. You were talking about milliwatts.
Yes, that's right, mate. Yeah. It's set low or some shit, and I've got to get in there somehow to change it. I'll have to. Is that in Betaflight? And once you've changed it, does it stay?
You did unlock it. Remember we talked about unlocking it. You did that.
Yes, that's right. No, I haven't done anything yet.
So then you can't change it until you unlock it.
But he didn't change anything in the first place. He said it changed, right?
No.
It's set to
I haven't changed anything.
25 milliwatts now, and you can't do anything unless you unlock it. Then you can change it.
How do you unlock them?
Remember I told you the Freestyle has a little red button right behind the USB, the little micro USB. You got to hold it down and plug the battery in simultaneously.
Actually, Justin, they figured that out in 1931 when they came up with the color system. What the human eye could perceive as to colors and resolution. It's called CIE 1931.
Hey, Jimbo, thank you for having me, and I'm about to leave, bro.
I'm tired.
All right, my friend, we're going to end this soon anyway. These things always go too long. Thank you for coming, Adrian.
Hey, Aldia, today I flew a whole pack at sports mode, 30, 40 miles an hour around my property, man. I was flying that thing pretty nice, man.
Put up the video. Let's see it.
Were you recording?
No, I didn't make no video on that one. No,
and it didn't happen.
Wait, which one? I saw one you put up today, though.
Yeah, the one that I have, that was my first time flying the gym, and that one I was a little scared in that one. But now that I'm getting the hang of it, I'm doing a lot better.
Last week I ran a mile in 2 minutes, but I forgot to record it.
I know, Carlos. Did you? I know. I got you.
Just saying,
The
no
same
footage
thing
should
with
never happen.
stuff.
You see the little button there, Matt, behind the strap? Oh, no, wait, Adrian. Seriously, get more batteries.
I forgot these right here, my goddamn drone. That's why I didn't get the footage.
This is Adrian's video. Oh, look, it has an ad.
Oh, there we go.
So does that mean Adrian's getting CRS?
Has that got a onboard memory, mate?
Which one? Should I take this down, Matt? This is the Adrian's DJI FPV.
Yeah. Has that got an onboard memory, Adrian?
No.
It hasn't, righto.
Adrian was flying with confidence, though.
Yeah.
You got to watch those power lines, bro.
Yeah, the trees.
A couple of things there to hit, isn't there?
That was the very first time I was scared as shit to fly that day.
Pretty low to the ground. I'm impressed.
Is it safe to say this was the actual last time, too, you flew it? Or no?
I said, well, that was my first time flying mine.
Adrian, that's your house right there?
Yes.
You have a lot of room to fly, Tiny. Whoops.
See, I almost crashed right there. I was scared as shit. I almost hit it.
You got a lot of stuff to hit there. We got a lot of stuff you can fly around, mate. That's a great yard.
That's a great place, yeah.
I'd hate to mow it.
It kind of looks a little bit like Bardwell's that I saw in his movie, where he's just got like lots of trees and things to zip around.
Oh, man, I watched his where he crashed it 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you can't even
Matt,
see him hitting the twig.
You find the little button, Matt?
I can't see any little red button, man.
A little.
I thought you could change the wattage in the goggles.
Put it up to the screen, Matt.
Once you unlock it. Right behind the USB. The micro USB.
Okay, I'll pop this in front of the...
Move the strap.
Yeah, I'm moving the strap. I can't
Man,
see
that's
it.
an ugly fella right there. God damn. You want an ugly son.
You can only aspire to be as handsome as me.
You want ugly mother. One ugly mother.
There's a song in that somewhere.
Look from the top down, right behind the micro USB.
He blind, Carlo. You have to give him a break. He blind.
Adrian, you better pay attention. Didn't you just order this one?
I think you need the light from the top down.
Come on, you son of a bitch. Focus. Here
Oh,
we go.
there it is.
Come
There
on,
it
you
is.
son of a bitch.
Got to turn it, though. Got to turn it.
Yeah, I know, but I was just...
Just turn it and stop arguing.
I can't see it that way either. It has to be turned a quarter turn. Where's the USB? Is that it right there?
Yeah.
So right behind that. Look right behind that USB.
I think there's a button. There's a button there, Matt. Right.
Oh,
behind.
yeah. There's a button right there.
There's a button.
Okay, I was looking for a red button.
No, it's black.
It's a black.
Jackass, you
Yeah.
wanker.
All right, it's a button behind the freaking USB.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Righto.
You get one battery plugged in,
wanker.
real quick, Matt, did you get that little jumper loop included in your freestyle package, the little bag? It looks like a battery that you plug in, but it's a loop. All it is a wire loop. Check out your little bag. Your freestyle, like the nuts and the bolts and the...
Yep. All right. Hang on. 2 seconds.
Adrian's going to have to try harder, Jim. You and I come from the military background. He's got a long ways to go to catch up with what we've heard in the military.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said goodbye about 3 or 4 minutes ago. What happened?
I know. I sure did.
Long goodbyes.
Hey,
Well-
they're all going to say goodbye. We're getting too long and people will never watch this crap. All right. Say goodbyes.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks, Jim.
All right. Thank you for having
Carlos,
me,
Lynn,
Jim.
Yeah,
All right,
actually, I was going to say,
everybody.
Jim, thanks for having me on.
Hello.
Hopefully,
Yeah, now.
Okay, guys.
Impressive
Yes.
flying now.
hopefully I was able to contribute.
Thanks for coming, Rod.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.